This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, as expected, at least as I expected, the New York Knicks lose to the Indiana Pacers 140-126. We're going to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure you support the channel. You can support the channel by hitting the Cash App, which is $ nothing but Knicks, or through PayPal at paypal.me/nothing but Knicks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting it in the chat right now. It's also in the description of this video. Now let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Tony, Knicks take an L, give up 140 points for the umpteenth time this season. They gave up 140 points to the Indiana Pacers. And the last two games, the Knicks have lost to teams that were right before and right after them in the standings, which obviously hurts them when it comes to tiebreakers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the Knicks started off well, and I was encouraged, right? They started off the game playing aggressive, playing tough, scoring the basketball, took a lead. Good first quarter. But then Indiana, they come back, right? And they begin to take over the game offensively. And as much as the Knicks continue to fight back, they just weren't able to score with Indiana. And, you know, by that third quarter, fourth quarter, Indiana just took over the game. And, you know, that was that. The Knicks just couldn't score with this basketball team. They couldn't stop them. Right? Well, hopefully, OG Anunoby is going to help us on the defensive side of the ball. But the Knicks could not stop Indiana. They couldn't stop Tyrese Halliburton, you know, from finding whoever he wants. And Tony and I was just listening to a little bit of Indiana's press conference, and they talked about their game plan. They know that the Knicks are going to overcommit to the paint. So they're very, very, very aware of shooting threes and knocking down threes and what's open from the three-point line. Yeah, you know, tough loss for the Knicks. 3-game losing streak. You know, lost to a couple of teams right there with them in the standings, right there next to them in the standings. And, yeah, you know, that's where the Knicks are right now. Obviously, they came into the game undermanned. You know, no R.J. Barrett, no Emmanuel Quickly as they're waiting for OG Anunoby and Precious Achiuwa, Malachi Flynn to come to make it to the team. So Deuce McBride, Evan Fournier, those guys played tonight, you know, but I don't think the Knicks were stopping them even if they had those other two guys, to be honest with you. I don't know. What's your thoughts, Tony?
I hope Emmanuel quickly fails his physical and the trade is Knicks. I'm sorry, bro. Nah, man. I think they were spot on. They was looking for the three all night, and the Knicks seemed to hedge more than you know what I mean. Straight up defend these shots. Everything was a recovery, if that. You know what I mean. If they even got to recover, penetrating dish all night, all day long. Halliburton, second consecutive 2020 game. I mean, he
Yeah.
picked this
20,
apart.
what do you have? 21, 22 assists today?
I know it was over 20.
Yeah. He picked us apart and then had words for Wally.
Yep. What he said?
You know?
What he said? Fake wannabe all-star.
That's what Wally said.
Halliburton said
That's what
back to
Wally
him.
said about
Yeah,
Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah.
yeah. That's what he was saying back.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what we gonna do, man? And breaking news: the Knicks and Miles McBride agree on a 3-year, $13 million contract extension per Adrian Wojnarowski. So to, jump over top of and usurp, if I'm using the right word, tonight's game, who cares? The Knicks lost. What do you think about that? That tells me that, Malachi Flynn, you're not playing. Miles McBride is playing. That's what that tells me, that the Knicks are staking their claim in Miles McBride right now. Right, 3 years, $13 million. That's about $4 million per year, a little bit more than $4 million per year. Right?
No, yeah, a little bit more than 3 million. Was that 4 years or 3 years?
3 years, $13 million.
Oh, 3 years. My bad.
Yeah, 3 years, $13 million. So that's a little bit more than $4 million a year. I don't know. What's your thoughts on it, Tony?
I think it's a good deal. It's a fair deal. I ain't mad at it. It's nice to know that they put some he got some security, you know what I mean? And obviously they valued him and felt he was an adequate replacement, at least like you were saying earlier on the defensive end. You know what I mean? Now it's up to him to kind of step up and bring some type of offensive game.
Right. To you, does it mean that he is definitely the backup point guard?
I think it's his to lose. You know what I mean? I think it's next man up. He's the next man up. He showed his his patience, his stay readiness. You know what I mean? Like, he does everything the coach wants. Coach obviously likes him. So yeah, I think it's his to lose, and you don't lose their job easy.
Right.
You get at least 20 games.
That's true. You get at least 20 games when it comes to Tibbs. This clearly was, they didn't just decide on it, tonight, right? You know what I mean? This was something that was obviously in the works after, after the trade was completed. They probably knew, hey, we're going to go ahead and, we need that backup point guard. Deuce is going to be our guy. You know what I mean?
Pardon me.
Yeah, I don't know if he's. I mean, I guess it's good. It's good for Deuce. It's great for Deuce. You know what I'm saying? It gives him some security. And when I say security, I'm not meaning just money wise, but security as far as himself as a player, as part of the New York Knicks. But it could also mean that he's going to be traded. Because maybe whoever the Knicks are planning to trade him to are like, we want to keep this guy around, let's sign this kind of deal. Now, unless the extension stops the trade, I don't know.
I was gonna ask, is it gonna be the same as like with RJ, or potentially if we had extended quickly, where it's the, that stipulation?
It could be. So, that's definitely something. So it could be that too, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I guess we'll find out more details. So IQ extended for 3 years, $13 million. Solidifies his place with the New York Knicks for a little while, I guess. Josh said he can't be traded until the offseason, if anything, 6 months. You know what I mean? So that does make sense. Yeah. The there you go. I guess we got our backup point guard right there. You know what I mean? No more really. Yeah, I would assume he's probably not fighting for a position right now. I mean, I didn't think Malachi Flynn was going to be playing over Deuce anyway. I thought it was going to be Deuce's role to lose. You know, he's been here. Tom Thibodeau knows who he is, plays defense and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting Malachi Flynn to start, or not start, but play in that backup role over Deuce McBride. So, there you go. There you go. Miles McBride is going to be a Knick for 3 years. Well, we don't know if he's going to be a Knick for 3 years. He might be a Knick until the summertime or whatever it is, but he's a New York Knick right now. I don't know. I don't know if it means anything as far as trades coming up. Do you think it means anything as far as trades coming up?
I would think that it probably means we're not trading for a lead guard or a point. You know what I mean? Point guard.
You mean a backup guy?
A backup, yeah. I think they're gonna. I think if we make another move, it's gonna be another big wing, a big. You know what I mean? I think that would be the next thing we have. I mean, I think we still have enough guards between Grimes, between DiVincenzo, between. I think Hart could slide to the 3. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of lost right now. It's like now it's like, what's the next move? You know what I mean? Like they dropped the domino and it hit the other one. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, and right, and sometimes these things are pieces to another move. Right? I don't know how signing Deuce would be a piece to another move. I guess it could be, but sometimes they are. You know what I mean? Okay, we're gonna solidify Deuce here. Now we're gonna make a move for now we're gonna make this trade for this guy because we know we got to give up boom, boom, and boom. Right? A guy like Malachi Flynn could be part of a trade still. Right? So you like, okay, well, Malachi Flynn is gonna go, so we got to make sure we do this, that, and the third. Let's lock up Deuce. Who knows? Who knows where it can go from there, ladies and gentlemen? But you can see it here, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. If you wanted to see it for yourself and you didn't believe Uncle Fulio and anybody else in the chat, you can see it for yourself. So let's hope that this is a piece to another move. You know what I mean? Something. They just solidified Deuce, so maybe they can move on. Maybe they're gonna move on from somebody else by solidifying Deuce. Who knows? I guess we'll see in the coming days and weeks. There's about 5 weeks until the trade deadline, where the Knicks can make more moves. And if they do, you know what? The Knicks have been, since Leon Rose has taken over. Normally their moves didn't come off, normally their moves took place before, sometime in January, right? They didn't wait until the end of the trade deadline or anything like that. They took care of it right away. Well, not right away, but they took care of it like in January. You know what I'm saying? So, if there's more moves to come, it could be just that, they could happen this month. You know what I mean? They could happen this month. So, I guess we could get to some phone calls and find out what people are thinking about this move now. An eventful day for the New York Knicks. You know what I mean? Exciting day. This is what Knicks fans like. Excitement. We just didn't get excitement on the court. Caller, you live. Name me where you're from, please.
What's going on, gentlemen? It's Nick in Jersey City.
Nick, what's going on with you, brother? How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. Wish we got this game tonight. And what is it, 3 in a row now?
3 in a row. Lost 3 in a row.
Yep. Well, we'll
And
see.
That's the
Turns out with
biggest
OG
losing
when he
streak
gets here,
of this
I
season.
was wondering what your thoughts were on these other guys that we got. This guy Precious, I think he's probably going to be the backup center here. He might even play over Sims when Sims gets back.
I like Precious. I think that he's going to be, I think that he fits the mold of what the Knicks want to do as far as, and you've seen the little thing from Leon Rose as far as guys fitting into the culture that they're building in New York and so on and so forth. I do think that he fits into the Knicks culture, right? And the way the Knicks play, work ethic, things like that. So I think he'll be a welcome addition to the team. And I definitely think he'll help out.
Yeah, I agree. I was listening to you before talking about the trade, and I share your skepticism over it, but I do think that, OG and at the 3, and I think Grimes is going to work himself back into that starting 5 at some point because you're going to need DiVincenzo off the bench with that instant scoring.
You might.
I think eventually we're going to see Grimes get back into the starting lineup and DiVincenzo go back to the bench, and that's a pretty good 5, man. When healthy too. I mean, in terms of defense, Mitchell Robinson, Randall, OG, Grimes, Brunson, and they still got their 11 first-round picks, and
yeah,
they're still able to do, and they added some cap flexibility with this move as well. So I think this is the move before the move, and I don't know when that move is coming, but I could get on board with it. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. What do you think about the Knicks signing Deuce McBride to a 3-year, $13 million contract extension?
Did that just happen? I missed that.
That just happened.
All right, good. Then I like Deuce, and I think that he's been shooting this year. He's shooting 40% from 3. I mean, if he could keep that up for his career, he's going to have a hell of a career because he's one of the best on-ball defenders I've ever seen. I'm not just saying that as an embellishment. I mean, if he could hit the 3, he's going to have a long career because he's exceptional on defense. So if he's the long-term backup point guard with Brunson, I'm fine with that. And then you got Grimes and DiVincenzo at the 2. You got OG and Hart at the 3. And you'll probably, with the 9-man rotation, they'll probably just do what they were doing here, where OG will be the starting 3 and the backup 4. And that's how the 9-man will play out. And then at the 5 spot, you'll have Hartenstein and either, Precious or Sims in the rotation. I think this other guy that they got from Toronto, the point guard, he probably won't make the rotation.
Right. I don't think so either. More news from Adrian Wojnarowski. The Knicks get a $5.2 million trade exception with the deal today. The Raptors get a $4.3 million trade exception. Just some light news. I don't know how.
How would both teams get a trade exception?
I don't know, but according to Woj, it said the Knicks $5.2 million and the Raptors $4.3 million created trade exceptions with the deal today. I don't understand how both teams get it, but apparently it's possible.
Hey,
so they both got it.
If you could combine exceptions, that's $11 million right there.
So let's see what the Knicks do with some of these assets they have.
I mean, I've been on the DeJounte Murray thing for a while because I wanted a really good defender next to Brunson, who could also score. And I don't know, if they're going to do that, that kind of takes that's kind of it. If they make a move, I mean, he's available to be traded in another week. If they make that move for DeJounte Murray, I'm thinking, maybe Grimes, Fournier, and first-round picks. That's pretty much the roster that we're going to be rolling with long term. That's it. Those are the big moves then.
Right.
I don't see them making another big move after that. That's the starting 5, and then their bench is basically, Hart, DiVincenzo, and Hartenstein when Mitch gets back.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to do that. I think they're aiming for. I mean, if that were the team, Brunson's still the number 1 option in my opinion. He's the best scorer on the team, probably.
He
And I feel
probably
like the whole thing that they're gearing up to get a guy who could be the number one option, Brunson be the number two option. That was at least my understanding of what their strategy was.
right. Right. I mean, he probably is. He hasn't been playing like it lately, but he probably is. The Knicks' best scorer. But lately it's been Julius Randle.
Do you think that could get to the finals? All healthy. Mitch, Randall, OG, DeJounte Murray, Jalen Brunson, with a bench of basically Hart, DiVincenzo, and Hartenstein and Deuce.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I guess we'd have to see how well they click. You know what I mean? Obviously, defensively, they should be very good defensively. You would think they'd be very good defensively. How well can they click on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, you got 4 guys in the starting lineup that could get you 20.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, let me ask you, are you confident that Mitch is going to remain a New York Knick with his injury issues?
Yeah, I think he will. I heard a call before say that this is the end of Mitch. I don't see the connection between that at all. I really don't. I think they love Mitchell Robinson. I don't think they're going to move. I don't think they're in a hurry to. I don't think they're in a rush to move him. I think they would if they had to, but I don't think they're going to move him for a guard. I think right now 2 guard is the spot that they're honed in on. It's like, all right, this is the next the superstar trade, the big trade. It's for a 2 guard. That's where they're going with it. And unless it's Embiid or somebody like that.
Yeah.
In the summer or next year or something like that. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I don't know. This is this is interesting stuff going on. This trade today has been the biggest trade the Knicks have done in how long? When you think
Very
about
long
it.
time.
Right?
And Leon trade. It's the biggest trade of Leon's time here, and he traded away the crown jewel of all of his drafts. Manuel Quickley has been was the best player he drafted. So
Right.
he really believes in OG, and I mean his son is OG's agent. And the whole thing is a little bit weird, to be honest with you.
Well,
It's a little bit strange, but we don't have to get into that.
Yeah, I mean, during the off season when OG, picked up CAA as his representation, obviously people were talking about him coming to the Knicks, and then that whole thing broke out with Toronto and New York in the court battle, and everybody, including myself, was like, well, you can forget about a trade happening, but obviously Leon Rose and obviously the front offices didn't care. They thought they liked what each other had and wanted to get the job done.
Yep. This might settle those issues with them too. I don't know, but my phone's gonna die. I just wanted to say goodnight, and they're gonna get a win on Monday.
I hope so, man. That's that. Who we playing? Minnesota.
Yeah, at home. We'll
That's
finally
tough.
play some home games.
That's tough one. Finally, right? Get a chance to play some home games. All these away road games. Sheesh. No doubt. Hey, Nick, I appreciate the time, brother.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Does that lineup make it to the finals? Or do they have the possibility of making it to the finals? Jalen Brunson, DeJounte Murray, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. And then off the bench, you got Dante
Mitch is back
DiVincenzo,
and healthy,
Josh
I would
Hart.
say absolutely.
Okay.
That's defense everywhere. In the paint, on the perimeter. Yeah. I don't know if it would take an off season, you know what I mean? Because you're talking about acclimating, 2 integral pieces. I don't know if they could gel like within a half a year.
Right.
But definitely a dangerous roster.
Yeah, Deuce McBride, ladies and gentlemen, signs a 3-year, $13 million contract extension. Tony, did it happen before the game or after the game? And they just announced it this is when they announced it. Or did they come into the locker room and say, here, Deuce, here's your contract, sign it right now?
Yeah, I think they was working out the details, while the game was in play.
Yeah, and Deuce tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Deuce McBride played, how many minutes did Deuce played? 17 minutes and 35 seconds, had 5 points. He was 2 for 3 from the field, 1 for 2 from the 3-point line. But, you're not picking up Deuce for him to score. You know what I mean? That's not what you're picking up Deuce for. Well, not picking him up, but, you got Deuce to play defense. And anything you can get from him offensively, I think the Knicks look at it as a cherry on top. And he's going to be out there basically to distribute that ball to guys like Quentin Grimes and whoever else is out there on the bench. That's going to be his job. You know what I mean? That's going to be his job. Looking at the rest of the box score, Julius Randle had 28 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists for Julius Randle, 5 turnovers on the night as well for Julius Randle. But the Knicks were led to score by Dante DiVincenzo. Now, you just heard, someone talk about Dante, Nick talk about Dante going back to the bench. If he continues to have scoring outputs like this, and I'm not saying 38 points, but good scoring outputs, it'll be tough for him to go back to the bench. It'll be tough for Tom Thibodeau to put him back on the bench, in my opinion.
It will, but to be honest, Sam, I was actually going to bring that same thing up, that same exact thought. And I mean, I was going to phrase it in a question. Do you think would be better off Grimes defending next to OG defending, and may that take a burden off to easing his offense? But to be honest, I mean, it's not like his offense really has taken a leap since he went to the second unit. It did that first game, and then after that, it was kind of.
I mean, I think that you could still have Dante run with the second unit, to be that scorer out there if you want to, because you could just leave him out there with the second unit.
Yes, I mean, somebody's going to have to be
that's his
there.
role, right? Someone's going to have to be there, and then he plays his role. You could always do that. I mean, when you look at all these other teams in the league, nobody is putting out 5 guys from their second unit. Some of them aren't putting out 4 guys, right? A lot of times you see 2 starters out there with 3 bench players. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put it past Tom Thibodeau going that route, at least until he gets the bench players that he thinks he needs.
One of these past 2 games, I don't remember which one, not tonight, but one of the previous 2 games, they had 10 players play in the first quarter.
Who are you talking about?
I don't remember which.
The Knicks
which
had 10 players?
No, not the Knicks.
Oh yeah, I mean, but a lot of teams. I mean, like you look at the Clippers, they did the same thing, right? They always got 2 starters out there on the floor. The Bucks always got 2 starters. The Celtics 2 starters. A lot of teams, they got 2 starters out there on the floor with their bench units. You know what I mean? And that's always, Tom Thibodeau can do that if he needs to. You know what I mean? Throw 2 guys out there, 2 starters out there with however that lineup works. So, we'll see how that goes. But for the rest of the box score tonight, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, Dante DiVincenzo, 38 points. Jalen Brunson had 28 points tonight, 6 assists. 10 points from Evan Fournier, came off the bench, first minutes in a while. Josh Hart had 10 points, 10 rebounds. All of that's fine and well, just wasn't enough, man. The Knicks shot 45.9% from 3. They shot 47.4% from the field. Great shooting. Looks good, sounds good, all of that stuff. But they couldn't get stops, man. They couldn't get stops. I mean, Indiana was just, knocking down threes all over the place. All over the place. And there was nothing the Knicks could do about it. because Tyrese Halliburton just picked them apart. Picked them apart. Found every single hole, crack, and crevice in that defense. Found somebody waiting to score the ball. Let me get you a phone call real quick. Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
Yeah. Hello, this is Ron from Brooklyn, or from still Knicks fans. Either way,
still Knicks fans. What's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. You know what I mean, Sam? We here. We try to talk you off the ledge. This is the ledge day, so I don't know. You seemed a little on the ledge earlier.
Hey, I'm just not sure. I need to see it in action. I need to see OG with the Knicks in action. I need to see if it's gonna do what I guess the front office and maybe even Tom Thibodeau thinks it's going to do.
I got to tell you, Sam, I'm feeling really good about it. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Josh. What's goody? I guess what's throwing me off a little bit is a lot of Knicks fans are so upset with this trade not seeming fair. Like we gave up too much for OG and Precious Achiuwa. And I'm saying, when I first heard the trade, I thought it was I actually thought it was RJ and Quickly for OG. And I was like, whoa, calm down. I don't know about this. But then when I heard that Precious Achiuwa was in it, I was like, oh, okay, this works. Because the Knicks, obviously, the writing's on the wall. As Knicks fans, we're looking at it a certain way. And so we're not thinking about it in terms of the way they're thinking. They obviously knew when they got Dante DiVincenzo, when they made their initial offer to Quickly, the writing was on the wall. We're not bringing you back. So if you're gonna, already have that in your mind state, I don't want to lose Quickly for nothing, and Toronto wants him. Let's make the move, because the Knicks have been known to lose guys for nothing. Like why are we gonna put ourselves in that position when this is actually a trade that benefits us? You throw in a little Malachi Flynn that gives us another body who can orchestrate and move the ball a little bit. All right, cool. I mean, he's got a little bit more game than he's displayed, so I'm not mad at the acquisition. But I really don't think they're done. I think there's more to this.
Right.
And even if it's not right now, if it's in the off season, I still think the Knicks ain't done. I think they're setting themselves up for something. And the fact that they were able to hold on to those first round draft picks is a beautiful thing, man. As Knicks fans, we can't be mad.
Okay. So who was the throw-in for the Knicks?
Malachi Flynn.
No.
I mean, for the Knicks? What do you mean?
Who was the throw-in? Was IQ the throw-in or was RJ the throw-in?
Oh, I believe, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if, in this situation, I don't think there's a throw-in for Toronto. I think they legitimately wanted both guys. I think RJ gives them something they could use, and Quickly definitely gives them something they could use. Mm-hmm. So this is one of those trades where hopefully we can look back and say this is like the Sacramento-Indiana trade where both teams benefit.
I hope so. I'm withholding judgment right now. I'm withholding judgment. I still have my reservations.
What is it that you're most concerned about, though? Because I want to know what's really bothering you. Like, what are you on the fence about?
I mean, I like OG. I like OG, right? But I'm wondering where our bench production comes from. I'm wondering where we get that bench boost. You know what I'm saying? Because IQ kept us in a lot of games this season. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There were several games where, the Knicks big guys just weren't getting it done. IQ, he got it done until those guys could help him get it done. And I'm wondering I'm just wondering where we get that bench boost. That's what I'm wondering. Where we get that bench boost?
What if I told you that I could put somebody in the starting lineup for the Knicks and he'll be doing great. He won't miss a beat. He knows how to run the plays. He fits in with the starters. And then I can move another guy to the bench who put up 38 points and might be able to give us some scoring in the same way IQ did. What if I told you that, Tim?
I need to see it happen. I know what IQ was giving us. I need to see that happen still. That's what I'm saying. Because is Dante DiVincenzo going to go back to the bench for real?
I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, I think I like where Dante is with the starters. But keep in mind, Dante looked good tonight because we had no RJ, right? You had one less body getting touches.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you bring in OG, is OG a guy who's going to command the ball? No. But those shots in the corner that Dante's getting were probably going to be for OG. I honestly think that if I was the Knicks, I'd move Dante back to the bench.
I mean,
I'd move Grimes back into the starting lineup because Grimes ain't doing anything off the bench anyway. Like we thought it would open up his game, and he's gone back to same old Grimes.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where it makes sense because then Dante DiVincenzo can be that, that lead guy on the bench. But I don't think Tom Thibodeau does it right now. To be honest with you, I mean, I can see where I can see where it makes sense.
My fault, Sim. My bad. Have we lost 3 in a row or 4 in a row?
3 in a row.
3 in a row. The Jekyll and Hyde Knicks strike again. We on our roll.
Yeah, 3 in a row. And hopefully we'll have OG and Precious Monday versus Minnesota. As long as all physicals and everything go well, hopefully we'll have them. If not, then we'll be playing with Deuce and Evan. We'll be playing with Deuce anyway, I think, because he just signed a 3-year, $13 million contract extension. We'll be playing with Evan Fournier out there.
Let me ask you guys a quick question, and I'm going to let you guys rock because I see Josh is on, so I know y'all got some talking to do. Today is a big day in Knicks sports. It was a big day for all of us. I don't know if you know, but I broke the news on No I'm just joking. Anyway, but seriously, how would you guys feel? Like, I know we did get Malachi in this trade too, but something's telling me like the Knicks really need to give Deuce that one more shot, man. This is the perfect time to get Deuce going and see what we really got.
I guess you ain't hear the news. Break the news to him.
Oh no! Well, wait! Don't give me no news, man. What's going on?
You had to have heard. You heard that Deuce signed an extension, right?
Oh no, I didn't hear it. I've been busy all day, man. After I did the show, I've been doing other stuff.
No, this just happened after the game.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know if it happened after the game, but it was reported after the game.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
3-year, $13 million extension.
That's nice. That's a good look to Deuce. And even if things don't work out, I will say I know a lot of fans get on the Knicks front office, and sometimes they've made some mistakes, right? But what they do is take care of guys who have been here, who have been team players. Like even the Nerlens Noel thing, when we gave Nerlens money, should we have done that? Maybe not. But it's, hey, you broke your back for the team. You did what we needed you to do. Let's reward you. It didn't work out. But, even with Deuce, if it don't work out with Deuce, at least they blessed him, man. That's a nice move.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm assuming that Deuce is going to be, even before the extension, I assumed that Deuce was going to be the backup point guard. I didn't think Malachi Flynn was coming in and taking that spot.
Okay. Now I'm really feeling much better about this. I know Wiz from LA is going to be ecstatic. He's going to go crazy. International Andy might, get a bigger Deuce picture behind him now. So we'll see what happens.
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
Anyway, I just want to say thank you guys for always being who you are. I'm mad that I couldn't rock with y'all, but I don't know if you can hear it. I got background noise. Mother-in-law is killing me right now. So
it's all good, baby. It's all good.
I'm here rocking. I'm watching, and I appreciate y'all, man. Have a good night, but I'm here tuned in.
No doubt. Appreciate it. All right, Ron. Peace.
All
right, ladies and gentlemen. That was Ron from Still Knicks Fans, and I want to give a shout out to Hamlet Tavares. Thank you for the Cash App earlier today. I wasn't able to get to it earlier because you sent it when I got off, but I definitely appreciate it, so I definitely wanted to shout you out. Let me get to another phone call here. Big Bubba, what's popping with you, bro? How you feeling?
Hey, what's going on, Sim? I was trying to call early, but I was really, really busy with you guys.
Yeah, so. I seen you were calling, and I was like, let me get off the phone.
That was crazy. You did end the show when I was calling you.
Yeah, I seen that. I said, let me get out of here. This guy. What's going on, man?
Not so much, man. I mean, so I kind of figured, we were kind of short-handed, man. When it came to Pacers fans, I kind of figured we were going to lose. I mean, right now we're in a little tough spot when it comes to, Freckle Rise and getting these new players in. And then our schedule doesn't get a little easier because we got the Timberwolves on Monday, but we should be having those guys back. But, yeah, man, we're in for I think we're in for a really interesting January.
Yeah.
Of trying to figure where we are now, and trying to figure everything out. But man, it's been a crazy 12 hours for the Knicks. Been a crazy 12 hours for the Knicks, and you know what, son? I gotta say this. I gotta say this.
Go ahead.
Can Josh hear me?
He can hear you.
I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Before the trade today, I kid you not, I said to myself, if I come on Sim's show, I was going to admit that this might have been the year to trade R.J. Barrett. I kid you not.
Man, stop playing revisionist history. Now all of a sudden you're on the side of the Knicks was going to trade him. Get out of here. You was not going to. You was not. If you were going to, then why didn't you text me and say, send me the link so you could get on the show and say, get out of here, man. Go.
No,
I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it.
But I'm trying to tell you, man. I was thinking it. I was going to come in and say to Josh, you got me this year. Maybe this is the year. Maybe
He's
this is the
lying.
year. Because here's my thing. Here's my thing.
He's lying. He's lying to you.
I'm not lying.
You're lying.
I'm not.
You're lying.
I'm not. Tony, you believe I'm lying, Tony?
You're lying.
Tony don't believe.
You're lying.
But no.
Hey, you can just say I was right the whole time. That's better than saying
no. You weren't always right. You weren't always right. I'm going to say this
about the team no
him.
more, right? Obviously, the team feels that way. So,
you know what, Josh? I'm going to give you a W today because you know. But I'm going to say this.
I've been consistent. It's not like I've been back and forth. I've been consistent about this. You know what I mean? So.
Hey, man! Listen, when you say something so long, you can end up being right. You're gonna be right. But I'm gonna say this about RJ, man, and I hope this for RJ because this can change him from being a starter to a very decent, good backup. You got to get consistent. That's the big thing.
That's
with
not
RJ.
our problem no more. What do you think about OG Anunoby? That's not the Knicks' problem anymore. What do you think about OG Anunoby?
Listen, man, I'm going to say the same thing I said on Guillermo's show earlier. OG's the first step to get us either Donovan Mitchell or we're going to get an ex-player. I like OG a lot. OG is one of the best defenders in the league. I think OG is going to be a silent killer for this team. The great thing about OG, I'm looking, he has 15 points, but he's almost shooting 50% from the field. Great 3-and-D play. This is the play that we've been needing. This is the play I've been screaming for the Knicks to have. I've been talking about this for a long time about the Knicks getting wing players. I believe, especially now, depending on what the Knicks do.
I mean, I'm not going to say that they have any more wing players than they had before.
I mean, we got one. Now I'm in the philosophy of believing we need about one more. I think we need 2 more wing players just because of the way the NBA is going about wing players being the most needed to me in this league. But OG's a great first start, man. I like him a lot. Again, I'm big on the 15. He's pretty much shooting 50% from the field. He gets his 15 points. He plays great defense. He's one of the best perimeter defenders. This was a great trade for the Knicks. A great trade for the Knicks. Mm-hmm. Quickly wasn't. I mean, it was plain. It was plain as day. Quickly wasn't going to be part of the team. Once I seen them sign DiVincenzo and they didn't extend him, it was pretty much, Quickly, you're not going to be part of this team. And I got to say, I do respect professionalism between him and RJ this season. You didn't hear people about them complaining. So I do respect that, but I'm excited for this team, son, because I believe from now, I think we're going to really have a quiet trade deadline in February. I think we're going to be quiet, maybe just trade Evan. But, man, I mean, summertime, I'm excited. I mean, I hate to go that far, but I think we're going to see the second part of this trade during the summer.
Okay, so what's that mean for the rest of this season?
I think you figure out what you got, man, because, I mean, right now you got to figure out what kind of team you are. I do think the Knicks will make the playoffs. I do believe that. We might have to fight hard towards the end because right now I think we're the 7th or 8th seed right now. We got to climb back to get to the top 6, which is doable. But I want to see this team in the playoffs. And then you got to reevaluate the team with Mitchell Robinson, and then you got to reevaluate it again whenever you do get X player during the summer to complete this trade. Because, like I said before, I think there's more moves coming. But you got to But I think right now you're going to be testing the team. Like I said, January is going to be an interesting month for the Knicks because I think they're going to you're going to see who they are. And then February, I think you're going to try to see if you can get a groove going in February, and then battle it out to get the top 6 spot in March and in April. It's gonna be an interesting season now. So it's gonna be more interesting than it ever was.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how things go.
But I will say this: I'm giving Josh his flowers. I'm gonna give Josh his flowers today. He was right. I'm a man. I can admit when I'm wrong.
No, you didn't admit when you was wrong. You were ready. You were trying to now side with Josh and say I was gonna come on here and I was gonna say this.
First of all, you should have given it to that caller earlier.
I'm giving it to you because you trying to now you trying to switch your story.
I'm not switching. No. I don't switch my story. Listen, let's be very clear. There were times when Josh was wrong, when benching RJ wasn't the best option, or taking him to the G League.
You're trying to switch your story.
I never said him going to the G League.
Now you're trying to switch it back. Now you're trying to switch it back. You're just trying to make yourself look good.
No. Listen, see, the problem is, you act like people can't change, Sim. I was going to come here and say this, Josh. I thought this was the year to trade RJ.
Yeah, but you're only doing it after the fact. You're doing it after the fact.
Right.
You didn't come on and say it before the trade. You should have came on and said it before the trade.
I didn't get a chance to. You see the problem. See, Sim.
You should have came on 2 days ago and said it.
Okay,
now you come on and say, I was thinking about saying this. I was thinking about saying that. I was thinking this.
Yeah, Big Bubba's the dude that be like, yo, I was gonna play those numbers.
Exactly.
After
Exactly.
First of all, Tony, I was gonna play those numbers, but I didn't feel like getting out of bed.
Exactly.
But anyway, look, man, today is Josh Day. I ain't gonna ruin it. Today's Josh Day. He was right about RJ. He's right. All I was saying was there are certain things I was going to say before this. But, it's okay because nobody's going to believe me now.
Just say. Next time, don't be afraid to say your take then.
I'm not afraid.
Oh, well, you don't want to come out until now. Anyway, man, get off my line.
Anyway, hey,
please,
listen.
I have another take, so please go off the line so I can get my take.
All right. I just want to say one more thing, man. Sim, it's been one heck of a year for you. We're going to get your channel back. Don't worry. We're going to get that channel back. I ain't worried about that. We're going to fight some dudes, but we're going to get that channel back. I just want to say Happy New Year's to you, Tony. You, Josh, Sim, Happy New Year's, everybody, to the Knicks family.
Happy New Year,
We're gonna have a better year next year because NBK is going to the next level, and everybody know that. And we're going to have fun.
We appreciate
so let's go.
You. Peace.
Peace.
That dude. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about, but salute to everybody first of all. This whole thing with Miles McBride, this contract, all this tells me is that he can't be moved before the deadline, right? So probably for the rest of this year, he might be the backup point guard. I still think there's a chance it could be Malachi Flynn because I think they're basically the same type of player, right? Really defensive oriented, that kind of thing. I think Deuce is a little bit better personally, but All this extension tells me is he can't be moved. But I think this is more of a PR thing with the Deuce contract. Think about it. When they gave RJ Barrett that extension, right after they couldn't land Donovan Mitchell, they submitted a statement. Oh, we value our young players, and we believe RJ Barrett's going to be the future of the organization. And less than a year later, he's gone. He's out the door, right? So I don't think that this means that Deuce McBride is going to be the backup point guard for the future. I just think for this year, you can probably plug him into that role. But even then, that's not really guaranteed, right? I want people to kind of think about this for a second. Remember that first trade that was reported, for Donovan Mitchell, how it was Mitch, RJ, Obi, and IQ, and for whatever amount of first-round picks, and everybody was like, "No, that's our future," and everything like that. 3 out of 4 of those players are gone. 3 out of 4 of those players are now gone a year later, right? So I say that to say that I'm not saying that I'm not going to advocate right now that we should.
The Knicks didn't make the trade because of those players. They didn't make the trade because of the picks.
No, I get that. My point is, and I'm not advocating for that trade or saying that the Knicks should have done it. What I'm saying is, based off of that alone, if that was the report that was out there and the Knicks offered that and Utah said no, that should have told you that the Knicks weren't really prioritizing trying to keep a lot of these young players here. You know what I mean? And then over time, you got replacements. Like, even though I don't agree with the Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo thing for quickly, they brought those guys in, right? RJ, he's in the OG and Anunoby trade, bringing somebody in for him. Obi, Randall was already here. You know what I mean? So this team and the front office is not thinking about, prioritizing young players and keeping these young players on the roster for the future. They're willing to move some of these guys. So I think everyone should kind of look at that as like the marker of like, this team is not really trying to stay put. They're trying to make some moves. I'm just glad that they finally did it and made the move in order to get better. But I'm not looking at Deuce McBride, his contract extension has been anything meaningful except he can't be moved before the deadline.
Well, nobody's saying he's indispensable.
Yeah. But I think he's going to be the backup point guard for this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I think that gives him some some stability where now, okay, I feel kind of stable. Let me just settle in, focus in on my role here, do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I can play my best, and then, obviously, it can go on from there. It's $4 whatever million a year, which is a tradable contract, something that can make money's match and things like that, obviously. You know what I mean?
Right. They did the same thing with Jericho Sims. They gave him a little contract extension and stuff like that, and he can rarely see the court. But I think, that goes beyond without saying. So OG Anunoby, he is eligible this offseason to get the Julius Randle contract, what Randle's getting now. So it'd be 4 years, 117 or something like that, which I think that's what he's going to ask for. And I think the Knicks they're probably already had it worked out that they're going to sign him, right? Whether he, opts into to next year and has the 4 years after that, or, without it. So that's going to happen. The next step for this team, in my opinion, is to go out and trade Evan Fournier's contract. Because if they don't, then all that talk about Evan Fournier being a good move, I know we were having that conversation before, and that his contract is movable and all that stuff. If you can't move his contract now at this point, then that's a failed move. That's a failure. Because then you're not even playing them. You know what I'm saying? So they have to move Evan Fournier's contract, in my opinion, or else that move is going to be looked at as a tremendous failure, in my opinion.
Well, we'll see what happens. Or they might pick up his option. Big shout out to Louis Ciaz. Thank you for the Cash App earlier today. I appreciate it. $20 Cash App. I definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. You can always support the channel. Cash App is $ nothing but Knicks. PayPal is paypal.me/nothing but Knicks. As you know, the channel's been demonetized. So any way you can support us, we definitely appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. And the only reason why I say that about Evan Fournier is, if they feel like there's something that is brewing, they could decide to pick up the option so that he can be tradable for next season as well.
That'll have to happen before a certain time period, though, Sam. Mind you, free agency starts on July 1st, so they would have to pick it up before.
Yeah, like June.
July 1st.
Yeah, they got like June, whatever the date is that they would have to pick him up. But
then if they do that, then that means they better get a deal done. They better get a deal done, because what that does is now you pick up Evan Fournier's option, you go into the luxury tax, you go into the first apron, not just the luxury tax, you go into the first apron, and you still have that guy on the roster. You know what I'm saying? So they better get a deal done. But right now, it's the best time to move him, in my opinion.
Well, yeah,
right now, it's the best time to move him because you don't have to worry about that.
Right. This would be the time to move him. We'll see if they can get something done with Evan Fournier. But, if they don't, then I'm pretty sure they'll be negotiating with teams during the draft. Right? Because obviously you can make moves then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if, you hear that they're picking up his option, then you might know, it might clue you off to there's a move. You know what I'm saying? And then if that didn't happen, they would still have during the offseason to make a move with him. But I think that's the only way that they would pick up his option is if they think they have a move and they got to use his money in the move. It's the only way that I would see it getting done.
Yeah, that's the only way for it to get done. I'm just saying they better make that move because then you can set yourself up
for a whole bunch
of problems. You have Evan Fournier on the roster, you pick up his option next year, and then you're not going to play him. You're into luxury tax. You're much more restricted in what you can do as far as trades are concerned.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, OG Anunoby, his pending contract, I think they're going to actually sign him to that contract. And then after that, you got Randall and Brunson who are going to ask for $200 million. The following off season, you know what I mean? So
the following off season, but his contract would be off. His contract would be off by that following off season because it's only 1 year.
Right, but then exactly. But what I'm saying is, if you're not bringing anybody else in and you're just going to let him walk, how is your team improving? You're just putting yourself into a luxury tax situation.
I get that. I get that. No, I agree. You would have to make something happen, but it wouldn't affect Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson in their contract situation.
No, I'm saying that the whole contract thing about them getting their contracts, it'll affect the team because then you can't get better. Like you're not using Evan Fournier's money. If you just let him walk,
right,
and you pick up his option for next year, you can't really do anything else. You can't really make too many moves without cutting up the core and getting rid of Josh Hart and DiVincenzo, stuff like that.
Right.
So I think right now it's the best opportunity for them to use Evan Fournier's money. And if they don't use it, we want to talk about that. But that's later on down the road. So we'll see.
If they don't use it, then they gotta let them go. That's the only thing they can do. If they don't use it, they gotta let them go. You know what I mean? They gotta let them go. Let me get to a caller. Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
Hey, this is Jay Levy from SC.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling all right, man. I'm not in panic mode. I know that. It's kind of like, sometimes you got to just sit back and understand the landscape of things that's going on. These teams are getting bigger, man. I notice that every night when we go out there, man. It always seems like, we're munchkins compared to everybody. We got to get bigger. We got to have people that are more aggressive, that don't give up and quit on defense. Those are like ingredients to like championship teams. You pick any of the sports, all sports have defense. I'll give Tibbs that, but you also need somebody who doesn't need as many shots from that 3 spot. Because I think sometimes RJ was feeling the pressure of trying to be the number 2 or trying to be the number 1. He didn't appreciate being slated as that number 3 man no more. He didn't appreciate that, I don't think. And it seemed like a lot of times he would push. There's a lot of times where he would get to the basket, have people open, and still wouldn't even look anymore because he thought he had to put up the points. I think he's going to be much better off where he went. I think if anybody didn't know that Quick wasn't coming back, you just don't follow sports, period. You bring in DiVincenzo. They even signed Josh Hart and didn't talk to Quick or nobody. They signed Josh Hart. They brought in DiVincenzo. It was kind of like I already knew Quickly wasn't going to get re-signed. If he didn't get signed when they first had that first opportunity to sit down and sign him, he wasn't going to get signed. But to me, $25 million is ridiculous for a backup. I get the 20 points coming off the bench and this and that, but I just think $25 million is outrageous for any backup point guard or any backup. Especially with y'all saying the landscape's changing with the way you can sign people now. I think that would have handicapped us. Literally, we'd have had a backup and only really 2 people that we consider starters, that can score. So I think that wouldn't have worked for us. I think that would have really ruined our whole team. But I also want to give credit to the front office. I think a lot of times we think they're playing checkers because they don't tell us everything they're about to do. But in reality, they're kind of playing chess because I believe that lawsuit personally, it's my personal thing. I believe that lawsuit was put into play to cause pressure because it seems like it's like, why else would they deal with us if we're suing them? Unless somehow, some way, that's going to walk out the back door somewhere without anybody knowing about it. Somewhere, I just have a strange feeling that played a big part in this deal because it's kind of like 1 minute we're suing you and y'all don't want to have anything to do with us. Now, all of a sudden, you give us this guy basically on a deal that you wouldn't even have thought about giving it to us last year, because I believe last year was like 3 number ones they wanted from him, and they were talking about 3 number ones and a player. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, just give us RJ, we'll take quickly and a second. Like, something's not lining up with me.
Well, I think
he's in a walk year. He's in a walk year.
Yeah. I think they were probably kind of desperate because he could just leave this offseason. So,
right.
And they figured he wasn't going to come back.
Yeah, I don't think he was going back. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think he was going back
because I know that he's made it clear that he always would take a little pay cut even to be with the Knicks. Like he wanted to be with the Knicks, which is why he stepped away from Clutch. Because I think at that time, Knicks and Clutch was beefing so much that it was hard for them to even sit down at the table, even get him a deal,
right?
With New York. I also noticed that they were talking about recently Clutch and Leon sitting down to the table,
right?
Which caught me off guard a little bit. Then I thought about it. I was like, well, maybe Murray wants to come to New York too, because that was the talk originally when he was in San Antonio. And then they made the swing to Atlanta, and they tried to hype it up and say how him and Trey want to play together and they're such good friends all of a sudden out the blue. But I think in general, if you watch the games lately, like I really see OG could have helped us, even in a game like tonight, where you just want to stop their number one player. We need somebody who's just a stopper, and we didn't have that. Like I would have liked to see how him and Quentin Grimes interact, like if he goes into the second unit here and there, like how RJ used to.
Right.
I would love to see like him, Hart, and DiVincenzo and different guys like interacting who really play defense and really hustle. I think that might be an interesting twist for the second unit too. Where you can actually put a second unit on the floor that can lock down, and take control of the game. Just a few thoughts that I had, thinking about it. But I think overall, man, we was never going to resign quickly. And I just don't think RJ was really a fit with Brunson and Randall. At first it was Randall, but then when you added JD, I really don't think it was a fit. So I think everybody benefited from the move, to be honest. I think it's a break-even type move, But I do agree with you guys. I don't think Miles will see 6 months of that contract. I definitely believe that, as soon as I think they will already have moves that we don't know about, already laid out, that they have to do certain things in order to make sure things move the way teams are going to want to move and the money needs to move. I see them like literally we're going to have a different team by the time we turn around next year. It's going to look a little different. It's going to be stronger defensively, and I think a little better offensively too.
Okay.
That's just
I hope so. Hopefully this is just the first domino to fall.
If it's not, it makes no sense then. If it's not, if this is the only move you decided to make, I don't see where any of this factors in. I don't see where that would work at all. I think you either got to go after Murray or you have to go after Mitchell. If it's Mitchell, it's going to be a summertime move. If it's Murray, it's going to probably be by the All-Star break. So I just think either way, you got to make another move. There's no way you leave it here. I don't see it.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely agree with you. You got to make another move. No doubt about that. We'll see what it is. But, hey, my man, I appreciate the time. Appreciate the call.
All right, guys. Man, y'all stay up there.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, brother. Peace.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, Tony.
Told you, Tony.
Tony, you was about to say something before my man jumped on the call.
No, I was going to ask you to guess who the 2 happiest MBK members are.
Josh, today.
Josh is definitely one
Josh
of
is
them.
happy, boy.
Josh is
happy. He feeling good, baby.
He's like, RJ gone. It's like
Josh is
freedom.
happy.
I mean, it's not. Okay, I'll admit I am a little happy. I am a little happy.
You've been cheesing
No,
the whole
wait.
time. She talking about I am a little bit happy.
It ain't because of RJ. It ain't because of RJ. It's just because like everything that I've been saying, like
He
it's
feels
literally coming to
vindicated.
fruition.
Yeah,
Everything that I've been saying, not necessarily about RJ, but about the team and what they're trying to do has like really is happening in front of our faces. Literally, these young players that everybody wants to hold on to, gone.
Yeah, you feel
gone.
good.
All our first
You
round
feel
picks,
good.
gone.
It's okay
No,
to
I'm
feel
saying,
good.
as long as they pick the direction, and this is the
go.
direction they want to go, let's keep it going. And I agree with the caller. If this is the only move, it really wouldn't make sense. It really would not make sense in my opinion, because what contracts are you going to move next offseason?
Yeah.
If it ain't Fournier, if it ain't Fournier, what are you going to move?
Right.
What do you have to move? You know what I'm saying?
And number one got to be Andy, because he got IQ out of here, and Deuce got extended. That's like a double whammy for him. You know what I mean? It's like his birthday and Christmas on the same day.
Right. Big shout out to Gary Joyner. Peace to you, bro. Thank you for the Cash App. Definitely appreciate your support. Looking at the game stats, ladies and gentlemen, 40 assists for Indiana, 22 of them or whatever it was, for 23 of them for Tyrese Halliburton. It's crazy number of assists, man.
It's nice we don't get 23 as a team.
You know what I'm saying?
Like 23 as a team is like, that might be a good night for us.
23 assists for Tyrese Halliburton, 40 for the Indiana Pacers. Their offense is definitely nuts. They shot 59% from the field. They shot 54% from three. They shot 81% from the free throw line. The Knicks, 47% from the field, 46% from three, 70% from the free throw line. The thing is, this ain't the first team to shoot like this against the Knicks. I mean, that's crazy shooting numbers. Hopefully, OG will help us at least a little bit. 140. And, there's scoring like this going on around the league, but I don't care about the league. I care about what the Knicks do. And you got to find a way to stop these teams from scoring buckets like that, because the teams that are going to win the championship, they're going to get stops.
Well, Sam, you want a defense, right? So here we are, right? You want a defense. They got OG and Anunoby. Improve the defense, take away from the offense a little bit. Let's see if the Knicks can be able to do something. This is what you want. So,
well, I mean, we improved in one unit. Hopefully, we should get better defensively in the second unit, or stay the same with Deuce. If Deuce is going to be that point guard, stay the same with Deuce, right? At least because he's a good defender. But we'll see if it takes away offensively. Still, I still think around 115 is the sweet spot for the Knicks. It might change now with OG. We'll see, how that looks. We'll see how that looks. Hey, every time we try to run up a score with teams, we give up 140 points. We can't do it. That's not who we are.
It's because we're small, Sam. That's what I'm trying to say. It's because we're small.
I don't believe it's. I believe. Okay. If it's because we're small that we're not getting stops, cool. Whatever. We got to get stops. We got to get stops. We can't give up 140 points and expect to win.
That goes without saying. That's obvious. But what I'm saying is, it's because the Knicks are small, and that's the reason why. Well, they were small, and that's the reason why they were giving up 140 points to or whatever, to OKC. 3 players over 6'10" in their starting lineup. Boston, big size difference. Milwaukee, Minnesota. It's because we're small. The Knicks, before this trade, I would say, they can't match up with those teams. The matchups don't line up. And in the playoffs, that's what's been happening.
I mean, if that's the case, I'm gonna be honest. Small. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, OG's got a longer wingspan, but I don't believe that we added that much more length. We just added one guy.
Yeah, but you take him out the starting lineup for somebody like RJ. You take out RJ Barrett and put in OG and Anunoby. That makes us much better defensively. I'm
not talking about defensively. I know it makes us better defensively. I'm talking about the size.
Right.
I don't think the size is that much of a difference. He has a bigger wingspan, but we didn't add size to Julius Randle. We didn't add size to Jalen Brunson. We didn't add size to Dante DiVincenzo. We didn't add to none of those positions. We added a few more inches to one position.
to the most important one, the one that across the league where you got most of the wings who are 6'9", 6'10", that he can be able to guard up, and that he can be able to switch. The whole thing about size is you make yourself defensively more versatile.
I understand. I understand that. I just don't think we added that much more size. I'm sorry. I don't. I still think we're small. We'll be better defensively, but I don't think we added that much more size. Jalen Brunson is still 6'1", 6'2". Dante DiVincenzo is still 6'4". Julius Randle is still 6'8".
Could RJ Barrett defend 4s and 5s? Could he do that?
No.
Can OG Anunoby do that?
Maybe 4s, not 5s. I do not see him guarding 5s, unless it's a small 5. He's 6'7", 240. I don't see him guarding 5s. You're not putting him on Joel Embiid. You're not putting him on Joel Embiid.
Who are you putting on Joel Embiid? That's hyperbole.
I'm just saying. You said 5s. I do not see Tom Thibodeau putting OG Anunoby on 5s. He's not doing it.
But he can put Josh Hart on 4s and RJ Barrett on 4s. Really? Are you serious?
I do not see him putting OG Anunoby on 5s.
Here's what I'll say. I think I don't see him putting him on 5s. I can see him guarding both a Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. That's the point you're trying to make.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but I don't think
I'm talking about, and that's why you need length there.
I know why you need length. I don't think he adds and gives us that much more length. That's what I'm saying. He gives us more. I don't think it's that much more.
Basically,
I don't think we get that much more longer.
We still need another guy like that.
Yes. I'm saying I don't think we got that much longer. I don't, people say, oh, we got length now. No. We added a couple inches to one guy. Can he be more versatile? No, I don't think it's enough.
I do think it's enough.
I don't think it's enough.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's enough.
Absolutely, I do.
Can I ask you guys something? The same package, would you have preferred Brandon Ingram?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Easy.
The same package? Oh yeah. Yeah. I would have. I don't know.
Or better yet, would you have added a first or what, you know what I mean? Would you have increased the package?
Yes.
I would.
Yes.
I would too. Honestly, like I would have increased the package, and I probably wouldn't be as upset about the losing IQ. And I think IQ would have fit there as well. You know what I mean? I don't know how to bear it. You know what I mean? Zion.
All I'm saying is, since RJ Barrett was put to the 3 position, right? And that's not even his natural position. What a lot of people say he needs to be playing at the 2 and all that stuff. The Knicks were at a disadvantage at that position, particularly because that is the position, particularly in the front court where there's a lot of length around the league. Now you take him out and you add a guy with more length, right, who can be able to defend 4s and 5s. That increases the Knicks' length tremendously, and that helps them be better defensively, not just because of the length itself, because the Knicks can be more versatile. They can switch more. Like when you see the Knicks play defense right now, they play the drop coverage, leave these people open from 3. They don't necessarily have to do that anymore because you got a guy who can switch off.
They're going to do it. I guarantee you. They're going to play
Milwaukee
drop coverage.
Look at Milwaukee. You got Giannis, Brook Lopez, and Chris Middleton, 6'9", 6'10", all 3 of those in the front court. The Knicks don't match up well with them. That's why we have trouble with them.
And I don't think we match up. And that's what I'm saying. With OG, you just, Randall is still 6'8". And he's still matching up with a 6'10".
One of them.
Giannis.
Right.
I mean, I still don't think, I'm still not saying that you have this much more length.
All right, let me ask you guys.
I think we're better defensively. I don't see that we have that much more length that it changes. I don't see this changing our season significantly right now.
Well,
we still need more and more length too. I don't see it changing our season significantly.
I don't think it's not just about the length that makes the Knicks contend. They also need ball handling and guys that can put the ball in the hole. So it's 2 parts to that. There's 2 parts to that, right? So Tony, for your example, Brandon Ingram, someone who is 6'10", right? Maybe not the best defender, but because of his length, the Knicks can be able to use him at that spot, and he has ball handling ability. To me, I think that can take the Knicks to a next level. But because OG, right, is limited offensively, he's not that high usage. Dante DiVincenzo can shoot the air out the ball. He can shoot. Great. But he's not a ball handler, right? I think we're still limited in that fact, and we have to go make another move. But I think we are much better defensively than we were yesterday, much better defensively because
we'll
we're
see.
more versatile.
We haven't touched the floor yet. Let's see it.
Okay.
Not only that,
You the one that wanted defense. I'm
not saying I
do
don't.
you also-
I know what OG is. I'm not going to say what we are yet because we haven't touched the floor, right?
If you think we're
on
much
paper.
better defensively, do you think we lost anything offensively?
Oh yeah, you lost the ball handler quickly, no doubt.
But you think the defense offsets it?
I mean, for me personally, I'm not all about the whole sim thing, playing defense to win games. I'm not all about that personally, so I don't think the defense offsets it. But we still need to go out and get another ball handler.
And to me, this move, like the caller said earlier, I think this move has to be a prerequisite for the next one because as we stand, I don't think this moves the needle. This, you know what I mean, for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we like.
But it doesn't have to though. But it doesn't have to. Like what a lot of people say when the Knicks make trades. Okay, so for example, when the Knicks make whatever trade that they make, let's say, or they acquire a player like Evan Fournier or something like that, right? A lot of people would say, well, that's not going to move the needle. He's not that much better. But you guys will advocate that person's better than the player he's replacing, right? So it doesn't have to move the needle as far as taking us to another round in the playoffs, but it makes the team better. Right, so this is the same situation. How come you guys can apply that logic?
Because I'm saying I don't know how much better we are. That's what I'm saying.
I think it does.
I don't know how much better we are.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if we're better, to be honest.
Right.
I mean, you're the one that I'm saying. I'm just pushing back on this because you're the one that we're advocating for defense.
I know what I'm advocating for.
And we get a defensive guy that's better than RJ Barrett defensively, and we lose some offense. This is the style you want to play. So I mean, I just don't understand the reservation about that. Because you want to play defense.
I know, but it's not all. I never said it's all about the defense. All about defense. So don't put that in my mouth. I never said that. What I'm saying is there's a pace. Said it was all about offense. What I'm saying is there's a pace that I think the Knicks play with the way that they were they were constructed, a pace that they played offensively and defensively that worked together. And it was not scoring 126 points. I didn't think that because I felt like when they scored 126, 127, 128, they couldn't keep up with other teams. So I felt like the 115s, 116s was a good pace and place for the Knicks, so that they could play better defense and offense, and I felt like that was a sweet spot for them. So I wanted the pace to be there, right?
I think they're much better suited now to play that style than what they were before.
But I wanted the pace to be there, right? I agree that OG brings in more defense, but does his chemistry offensively with that first team offset what we lose in also Quickly, who also played defense but also brought you offense? Does it offset it, or do we have enough to make up for that? So that's where my reservation is, and that's where I'm not sure if we've made that much of an improvement, because I don't know, can we offset what Emmanuel Quickly brought to the team? We'll see if we can. If we do, maybe we do.
Well, I don't think we can replace Emmanuel Quickly. You guys were also advocating for Donte DiVincenzo being the ball handler.
I'm saying offset. I didn't say replace him. Can we offset what we lost with him? Not replace Emmanuel Quickly and what he does, but offset what we brought with the rest of the team.
I understand that. This is what I'm trying to say. Earlier in the season, you guys were saying that Donte DiVincenzo can be that other ball handler, right? The Knicks chose Josh Hart and Donte DiVincenzo over Emmanuel Quickly. That's why he didn't get paid, and they had to move him. Right? So if Donte DiVincenzo is going to be that guy and he can have a night like tonight where the production was high, even though it was in catch and shoot, let's see. Let's see if that can happen. But if not,
no choice
that means Donte
we don't have no choice but to see. But even if Emmanuel, you're still losing Emmanuel Quickly. And you're still losing some production.
We never wanted Donte to replace
him
Quickly.
But that's literally what happened because the Knicks couldn't sign Emmanuel Quickly because they gave him that contract.
Okay, that's all good. Cool. What I'm saying is I don't know if by losing him and bringing in OG and losing RJ altogether, we got better. Because Dante's on the team regardless. And he was there before the trade and there after the trade.
All that stuff goes hand in hand is what I'm saying. I'm not looking at this move by itself. I'm looking at all that stuff. It goes hand in hand. That's the reason why the Knicks made this move. literally, or one of the
Right.
reasons
So
they made
what
this
I'm
move
saying
because
is,
they couldn't
did
sign
we
quickly.
get
That's what I'm saying.
better? Did we get better? I don't know that we got that much better. That's
And
what I'm
that's
saying.
for me. I feel like for us to definitively have gotten better, number one, OG is gonna have to do what he does defensively, so his reputation is gonna have to carry over. But I think he's gonna have to take a step offensively. At the very least, that doesn't even replace Quickly's production but I think he's still gonna have to put up better production than the numbers he's given. Now
I'm
I
not
will
even.
say this:
Yo, go ahead. Go ahead.
he's been on record as wanting a bigger role. You know what I mean? So maybe he gets RJ's usage, and maybe if he's getting RJ's usage with the same percentages that he's given historically, that'll make him into a different player. You know what I mean?
So I'm not dependent on him to do any of that. I'm not dependent on him to do any of that. If you're talking about this trade specifically, I can see where you're coming from about you not knowing how much better or if this team even got better at all. But I'm looking at it, the Knicks made this as a piece, and they have to make another move to bring in that ball handler to replace Quickly's production and his style of play. That's what they have to do. Because if they stop here, then you're right, Sam. What was the point? You know what I'm saying? Then you would be right at that point. But I'm looking at it as far as totality, not just this particular move.
Yeah,
right?
but
Because all that stuff that happened before.
We have no idea what the next move is, or
neither do I. But I get it, Tony. Neither do I. But I'm telling you,
you got blind faith, and you done got on me about blind faith in the past. And it sounds like you the one with the blind faith now.
I don't have. It's not about blind faith. I'm just telling you what I think should be done. It's not about blind faith. I'm not depending on OG Anunoby to take a next step offensively. If he does, cool. I'm not depending on that. But I'm saying all these moves that came up to this point, the same stuff y'all were arguing with me about Dante DiVincenzo, his contribution, and what the team needs and stuff like that. Literally, we're at this point right now. So if we're gonna be at this point, let's continue to be aggressive and make moves. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm telling you, if it doesn't happen, then that's a problem. That's the problem because what's the point if you don't think the team is that much better right now, and you gave away Emmanuel Quickly, who's the best player in the trade? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, the best player.
How does that
yeah, possibly the best player in the trade.
And we chose two veteran players over him and gave them money instead of him.
Possibly the best
That's
guy.
what happened.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. Just like you say, if the Knicks don't do something with it's the same thing. Okay, if we brought in and we don't do anything else, then where we at? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Then where we at?
Exactly.
Where we at? Shout out to Joel. Thank you for your support. You hit me with a PayPal, $15 PayPal. He said, thanks for the time and hard work you put in for the Knicks. Thank you for supporting me, Joel. I definitely appreciate it 100%. Let me get you a call. DJ Shuttle, what's popping, brother? How you feeling?
All aboard. New year, new Knicks. Let's go.
What's happening with you, my man? A lot going on. I'm sure there's a lot of arguing all the way around Knicks Nation.
I'm pretty excited, and I just can't hide it.
I'm so excited.
I'm going to consider myself part of MBK fam, and I likely am right up there with the most happy folks about this deal getting done. The RJ side of it, not the Quickly side of it.
Yeah, I know you told me that earlier.
Quickly has definitely grown on me, and he's improved his play. It's no question about it. He's a fan favorite and deservedly so. But just a couple of things as I've been listening in, I just want to quickly touch on. One, I think the team did get bigger because when you have a guy like OG that can guard up, it also allows when you have a bench player, for example, like Hart that comes in. Now Hart's not going to be defending the power forwards, and if OG's doing it, he's going to do a better job than Hart is, and Hart's probably kind of off power forward defensive duties. Not to mention, I didn't hear anyone talk about the other player, Precious, that is also part of this deal, he's actually a decent defender. And I expect that he's going to get some minutes at power forward, likely, even more than center. So I think that also helps. And I know I came in a little bit late, and I didn't hear any mention that we were able to get this deal done without moving any first-round picks.
Right.
So
Right. We talked about that earlier. But
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but that to me is like, the cherry on top with getting this deal done. So now if you're dealing Fournier or, if you're trying to do anything else during this season, now, for example, like there's a lot of talk about Murray. So now if you do this Fournier for Murray thing and you got to include 2 first-round picks, you ain't really tripping because you still got a gang of picks left on deck still. You know what I mean? So definitely kudos to the front office. Randall and RJ have been a horrible pair out there together, and RJ's just kind of been horrible on his own. So, and not just this year, just like for a couple of years, going on 2.5 years. So I'm just happy that the front office didn't, feel like, oh, we drafted him third, he's the golden child, he's the future, that whole narrative that he just became this like supposedly untouchable player. And based on his play, that should have been the farthest thing from the truth. And, I'm excited that we actually have a guy that can defend the 1, the 2, the 3, and some of the 4s. Like the defensive versatility that this guy's going to bring is great. And hopefully it'll help some of the other players play better defense too. So I think it was a good deal. I gave it a B+ rating. And, we won't know till we know, but I like what we have at this point. And with what we lose with quickly, I just hope that, the efficiency of OG, what he replaces with RJ's inefficiency, is part of that. I feel like Dante, a few more minutes now in the game, will be part of that. And, and hopefully between Deuce and or Flynn, they fill in some of the minutes and, and they do their part there. I mean, Quickly will definitely be best, but I wouldn't put him in the category of like, we can't live without him.
yeah, I tell you what, OG is definitely a Leon Rose guy. Just
and a Tibbs guy.
And a Tibbs guy, right? Character, high character guy. Basically, stays out of the limelight and all that kind of stuff. He definitely fits the type of players that Leon Rose envisions, I'm assuming, bringing into the organization and continuing to bring it into the organization. So I'm hoping for listen, I'm a Nick fan through and through, and I always liked OG. I wanted to, I didn't want to give up IQ and RJ to get him. One of them would have been good for me, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, like everyone's saying, there's going to be more things to come. And, I'm hoping that they come soon. Or, because we don't see everything that happens in practice, this, that, and everything. It opens the door for somebody else to flourish a little bit. Because that could happen too. And I'm not talking about Deuce, other guys. Open the door for them to flourish a little bit.
Who are the other guys?
Dante can flourish a little bit more touches for Dante possibly. Maybe, in that second unit, like we talked about earlier today, Q gets a few more looks. You know what I'm saying? Or doesn't feel as though, one person is, he's relying on just one person. We've seen from time to time when he's not out there with RJ and Randall and Brunson or with IQ that he's a little bit more aggressive. So maybe he opens up to be a little bit more aggressive. That,
okay,
like that.
Yeah.
That
I could definitely see it. And Q is certainly more aggressive, more assertive and just overall plays better when he's not on the court with Randall.
Yeah.
So, what was the other thing? Man, I just lost it. Man, I just lost it. I just lost it.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see. We'll see how it all. Hopefully, we get a chance to see it Monday. You know what I mean?
Listen, everybody passed their physicals, and new year, new Knicks. I'm excited. Can't hide it. Looking forward to it. Year 5, you can't make layups. Like, come on. This is like enough. Like how long are we supposed to wait?
Oh, I mean, obviously, we didn't.
But the fans were like, no, we can't trade this guy. Like how can we not trade a guy that's in year 5 that has trouble making layups, that doesn't have a mid-range pull-up shot, that's poor defensively? Like I don't know what people were watching. Like, what were y'all watching? Those that said RJ can't and shouldn't be traded. Well, y'all wanted to trade Randall.
Crazy, right? Shadow was crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, but the Knicks have to get better. In order for everyone to say, well, it was worth doing it, the Knicks have to get better. They have to get better too. They have to get better. I mean, on paper it would say
get more. I would say get more, not better. Get more.
I don't know what that means.
I just think I think they got to get. For me, I want to see them get better now, though, before they get more. I want to see him get better now, because we're saying that OG's a better fit, better than RJ. We just named all this stuff that RJ can't do. Well, then the Knicks should get better now.
Well,
that he's on the team, right?
The starting lineup,
I think they will
be better, and that was the point that I lost. But the point was, like, I keep hearing this repeated thing about the second unit. Like, yo, listen, we have to get. I believe we have to clear our minds of this whole thought that this second unit thing, where I think it was this guy Jeff with Those Soul Sports that put it very well earlier. It's not like hockey where it's like, all right, 5 guys in, 5 guys out. Like, that doesn't really happen. So to me, a whole narrative of the second unit, I'm not bought into that whole concept, because you and I've coached too, and I've played, so I know how this goes. You bring in, you put in a rotation where you have a mix of subs and a mix of starters. And I'm sorry, I'll take 5 great starters versus in a so-so bench versus an average starting lineup. And we get an amazing bench. I'm not worried about the bench. Can I get 5 great starters to get me off to an amazing start to the game consistently that can close games out? That's what I want.
Okay, so then we should get better with OG.
Well,
right now, we should get better. So
I think the starting lineup should be markedly better, because you won't have a guy competing trying to be the guy that shoots better consistently from 2 overall and shoots better from 3, and is the guy that you can hang your hat on defense, that you can, like, listen, can you please stop that guy? He's doing too much. And that's what he does. And Quentin Grimes, bless his heart, he did the best he could with that this season. Mm-hmm. But, he's that guy on the second unit more than on the first unit.
Yeah.
So, I think we're set up for success. I do think that this move can't be judged all alone, though, Sim. I think that, you still have Fournier's deal and a couple of picks, and, you add a DeMar DeRozan, you add a DeJounte Murray, you add one of these type of players, and that is the move that ultimately replaces quickly. And by dealing quickly and keeping all your picks And not having to include Fournier's deal, it allowed you to make 2 moves instead of 1 to elevate. So, yeah, I agree. I'd love to see the team be better, especially in the starting lineup. But another deal's got to be pending, and I'm going to really wait for that to really, really say what I think.
Is you got OG? Do you got OG picking up his contract? Picking up his option, or are they signing him to an extension during this offseason?
I'm confident that they're going to give him an extension because, if I had to bet, he's been having conversations, his agent, and you know how they, the under the table conversations go. They already been having conversations like, yo, we're going to get you out of here. Don't worry. We'll sign you to a new deal. We'll be looking at X number of dollars, and I think it's a done deal already.
I mean, do you think like Josh Hart, right? He picked up his option at $13 million, 12 point whatever $million, and then signed the bigger extension. Do you think
Randall did the same thing?
Randall did the same thing, right? Do you think OG does that same thing?
Well, I believe that it'll be what will be mutually beneficial.
Okay.
If there's a reason for him to opt in and not helping the Knicks get another deal done, which I think was the case with Hart situation, then they'll probably all right, cool. No, just do it for logistic purposes, not because you playing hardball.
Okay. All right.
But I'm extremely confident he's re-signing either way.
Either way, yeah. I think we're all pretty much 100. Unless something crazy happens, yeah, he's re-signing with the Knicks. No doubt about it. Shuttle, I appreciate the time, man.
New day, new Knicks.
My bad. I left you off the list of the happiest MBK fan. It's my bad.
Oh, nah.
I should have known.
It's all good. It's all good because I've been talking about RJ for years. So, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. All right, yo, my brothers, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And New Year, New Knicks. Let's go.
No doubt. Happy New Year to you, brother. Peace.
Sam, the Knicks created a $5.5 million trade exception.
Yeah.
I think that they had a $2 million trade exception before, so they got $7 million in trade exceptions that they can move. I do think OG is going to opt in and then sign a 4-year extension worth $117 million after that. So he'll be on the squad for another 4 years, at the very least, in my opinion. And it also, that move keeps the Knicks under the luxury tax. And I keep bringing that up for people so they don't understand, because a lot of people don't understand. Like that, the Knicks are strategically staying under the luxury tax for a reason, so they can become more flexible, right? And that's why I think they need to move Evan Fournier's contract right now. This is the time to do it. They have to move it now for a player, like whether it be Murray, Spider, whoever. They have to move Evan Fournier's money. It just makes the most sense, in my opinion.
Yeah. Big shout out to Kyle Williams. Thank you for the Cash App. He said keep Dante DiVincenzo starting and stagger him with the bench. That's definitely something that the Knicks could and probably would do. Especially right now. You know what I mean? Stagger him with the bench. But we'll see. They could also stagger OG with the bench, or they could stagger both with the bench. We'll see how we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? That's something that the Knicks are going to have to work through on the fly, obviously.
Or the starters can play 48 minutes and Tibbs will be happy.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on in the world of the New York Knicks right now, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of stuff happening, and we won't find out until more things happen, I guess. But I mean, I'm just saying, if OG's that much better than RJ, that much more of a fit, they should get better right now.
I mean, you said the same thing about Dante DiVincenzo over Grimes, right?
They should get better right now.
Changing the lineups, right?
Huh?
So you said the same thing about swapping those two from the start lineup to the bench, DiVincenzo and Grimes, and
What did I say that the team was going to get that much better?
Yeah.
Huh? I said the team was going to be like, boom, they was just going to get that much better.
That's why you advocated for it. You said it would
no.
be better.
I said we would maximize Dante DiVincenzo's production. That's what I said. I said we would maximize his production. Right? It's about fine tuning. But now we're taking pieces out and adding one in.
And we also questioned whether it would be good or bad for Grimes.
Exactly. We didn't say it was definitely going to be better for the team. We said it would maximize his production, and we would see if we could maximize Grimes' production on the bench.
Okay. I mean, the receipts are on YouTube, so.
Yeah, you can go look it up and pull them up if you want to. I know exactly what I said. I said we would talk.
You said this team will be better. You kept saying this team will be better.
I said it would maximize his production. Go find it and pull it up.
Remember the whole aggregate thing? Okay, I got you.
Yeah, you, and I kept saying to you, aggregate what? I said aggregate what? I said what are we aggregating? And I used it even times when you wasn't here, and I said aggregate that. You were talking about aggregating, not me. I was talking about his maximizing his production. You were talking about the aggregate of the team.
Have we maximized Grimes' production by putting him on the bench?
No, we were talking about Dante DiVincenzo.
Oh, so Grimes has nothing to do with that.
I was talking about, Tony, didn't I say we could maximize Dante's, Grimes would probably be the same. And hopefully he could get better. But I said he would probably do the same thing, but we could maximize Dante DiVincenzo's production. That's what I said.
So has the team got better?
We can look at the record since then and see. Right? But we also lost Mitch in that mix.
That's true.
So that means something too.
It does.
Right? Yeah. So can you really tell if they got better? No, because they lost a vital piece, during the time that we had that conversation. So we don't know.
Okay. So we'll see. We'll see when it comes to OG. So we add to the team. Without Mitch.
Exactly.
We'll see.
Yeah, without Mitch, we'll see. I mean, and you've got to factor it in. Without Mitch, this is what we were without Mitch during this time span. Now we got OG. This is what we were without Mitch. When he comes, we're even better or whatever it is. But what I'm saying is I would like to see if he fits, like we're saying he fits, plus he adds on the defense, I want to see us get better. Because we might not add more at the trade deadline. We might not add more by the end of this season. So I want to see us get better.
All I'm saying is if we don't add more, that'll be a failure on the front office. That's just my opinion on that.
All right.
That's a failure.
Yeah. All right. My man John, what's popping with you, bro? How you feeling?
What's going on? Sim, Crow, Josh, what's up?
What's up with you?
What up, John?
Peace, John.
Everything good, man. Listen, you got to add me on to that list of happy NBK fans with this move. Add me on it.
The list is growing.
It's growing. Add him on the list. Ron, too.
That's it. There you go. This is a great move, fellas, man.
Okay.
I mean, I think you asked, and my opinion will be my opinion, but I think we did get better after this trade, and I think we will see it come Monday or when they suit up. I think we're going to see the starting five, the options get better for us as far as the starting unit, and then off the bench, just the move for Quick, although I really, like Quick as a player, I think this gives Deuce an opportunity, if given the minutes, to show what he can provide off the bench. And then also it gives Grimes an opportunity to play more aggressive offensively. Like Quick will sometimes be more of a scoring first point guard, where you have Deuce being a facilitator more, and he doesn't have to worry about getting his shots up. So he will get it when it comes to him, where Grimes could then now play his game similar to how he played his game when he played in the G League and put up some numbers. I think we're going to see sort of that type of Grimes play, and at least I hope so. And then Hart is another player who doesn't need the ball. So I think that's what we're going to start to see. I hope that helps with his progression. And then we will see a change in the way he plays offensively. And if it doesn't work out, then at least the Knicks can actually see what they actually have in Grimes, officially.
Do you think OG will up his scoring average a little bit? And not that he's going to force anything to up it or even try to up it, but he may get if it turns out that he's getting RJ's touches, number of shot attempts, let me say that, shoots a better percentage, if he fits better, can he up it? 18, 19.
There's no question.
He's at 15, up it to maybe 18,
Yeah,
19, 20.
Yeah, there's no question that he's going to get the opportunity to do so. The other effect is also he's a good rebounder, so he's going to crash the boards, and he's going to be able to, he has better jump, so he's going to be able to get putbacks also off the bounce. He can rebound and go back up with it. You may even see some dunks on some people. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get that aggressive, package when it comes to, OG Anunoby. You know what I mean? That you may not be able to do or get with RJ.
Right.
He's just a more efficient player altogether. So I'm excited about this move.
I hope it comes, it has like some renewed, rejuvenated vigor. Not that he didn't have it, but
right.
He was probably in Toronto, didn't want to be there anymore. You know how that can be. You know what I'm saying? So now he's coming to New York, like, okay, boom, you get that new life. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, he gets that, and so he comes in, and the team is excited to have him. Some, new player to mix in, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully it relights a fire under the Knicks defense.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I definitely see Anunoby coming in with fresh legs, you know what I mean, and a fresh outlook on this situation, because, I mean, I think his best year with Toronto was, 2021, possibly, where he upped his average from 15 to like 17 a game. And I think maybe Siakam may have gone down during that time, so he had sort of was more available to be an offensive threat or more played off of. And I think you're going to see that from OG, you know what I mean? And this is going to allow Brunson to be more of a point guard and not worried about having to force up shots, in the paint. He can kick out more, knowing that, hey, we need a three. We know OG's out there. He's going to knock it down. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing we've seen right now with DiVincenzo, where they're not afraid to give up the rock because they believe in that player that's going to be able to shoot the rock.
Right.
DiVincenzo went nuts today. You know what I'm saying? So you can only imagine the spacing that's going to take place, because now you got two guys who can knock it down on the starting lineup. You know what I mean? You ain't got to question it.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope it comes out and it looks pretty.
That's it. Add me to the list, fellas. Man, you guys have a blessed New Year, brothers. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not going to jump on during the New Year, so Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New
God
Year
bless
to
you
you,
all,
bro.
and appreciate you guys.
No doubt. Happy New Year to you. Appreciate you,
Happy holidays,
John.
brother.
Peace.
Peace. And shout out to Walter Reginald Clark. Appreciate the Cash App. He said, for Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, my brother. Thank you. Definitely appreciate it. Go ahead, Tony.
No, I'm saying I'm glad I'm getting all these point of views. You know what I mean? Because I didn't really get to tune into anybody's show. I was at work, came home, and just jumped on my show and got my views out. But it's still gonna take some time for me to settle in. I still gotta see it in its see it live, and again, like you said, the next move is really gonna be what shows where we going with this. You know what I mean? Because as a standalone, it's tough. But I appreciate the words of encouragement. It feels a little bit better.
I just
that's
want
weird.
him.
Me talking y'all off the leg. That's pretty weird.
And I'm the optimist. I'm the optimist.
I just want him to come in and I don't need him to score 20. I just want him to come in and I know it's not gonna happen like right away, but things click and it's boom. You know what I'm saying? I can come on and be like, answered my question. You know what I'm saying? Answered my question. And even if like you can just see it, all right, you might know, all right, we need to add this and that, but you can see it happening. That's what I want to see. You can see it. You can see the little pieces as as the games are going on, you can see little pieces and things that can happen with them, and the way they can switch defensively and do things like that. You can see it. You're like, okay, boom, now let's go get this, and we're cooking with grease. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for.
He led the league in steals last year, by the way, for those who don't know.
Yeah. And you get a guy like DeJounte Murray, who is a thief. You know what I'm saying? Then, wow, you got something going there. And both of them can score the ball. Got something going there.
And they both make under max money. None of those players. Think about it. The Knicks have two players that don't make max money right now. Adding OG in, who's going to get the Randall contract, and then you get a Murray in here or somebody like that that's not making max money. This team can contend for a long time. That's what I want them to do. That's
good. So, let me add. Was Josh on? I don't know. Jalen Brunson, DeJounte Murray, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson as your starting five on the bench. Dante DiVincenzo, Deuce, Josh Hart, Precious, right? And then I'm assuming Isaiah Hartenstein. Does that group contend?
So Hartenstein won't be back. I'm almost like 90% sure the Knicks are not going to sign Hartenstein because of the luxury tax thing. So I'm looking at probably be Sims or somebody like that. So I don't think the Knicks are going to sign. I think they're going to stay with Mitch and then do it like that. I think that team can contend.
Okay.
I think that team can contend. Ball handling, defense, yeah. And then in that case, you can look at the conversation was being had. Me and Tony were talking about Brunson being a 1A. I think with that lineup around him, yeah, he can do that. And that team can contend. That team can contend, in my opinion. Murray wouldn't be my first option. I personally am looking for more of like a Levine or Donovan Mitchell. Those types of players who can shoot better from the outside. But yeah.
Well, I brought up DeJounte Murray because a caller asked that question earlier.
Yes, I think that team can contend.
And what's the dude's name? Soto, Mike Soto. He reported the Knicks are still interested in basically they want it quickly, but it didn't put a
who won it quickly? ATL?
Atlanta.
Yeah. Which to me makes less sense, right? But okay. Yeah. Like Brand makes less sense for quickly. He's not gonna start over Young.
Right.
Is he gonna start with Young? And now they in the Brunson quickly situation.
Right.
The thing about Murray, he makes less than a Levine or a Spider. They make close to 40. I think Murray's making 25.
Yeah, 20 something. Like Yeah. That would put him in that situation. Kind of like OB is in Indiana now that he's coming off the bench again.
Somebody in the chat earlier, I'm mad I didn't start, but they was talking about why is OB acting tough all of a sudden.
Yeah, you see him and Randall, him and Randall was kind of going at it in the game tonight. You know what I'm saying? Jawing a little bit, Obi wrapping up Randall's arm, on his way to the basket. Have a few words. That stems back to some practice stuff or, just their, practice rivalry, I'm pretty sure.
It made me wonder. One, I was like, you gotta you can't back down. You got your whole family in the stands.
Right.
And then it made me wonder if they had a little scuffle, where you think Jacob Toppin, whose side he would have been on?
Yeah. Right. He probably just said, I'm gonna just sit here. I ain't getting off the bench.
I need this job.
I need to make money. I'm with you, bro, but I need to make money. You know what I mean? But Randall got into it with Bobby Portis the other day. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's anything that's gonna go beyond the court. It probably just, happens like that sometimes. It was funny to watch. Ricardo $36 Rick, thank you for the Cash App. He said 2 moves should be DeRozan and Bogdanovich or Levine. We're gonna see what these moves are next, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna see. I did have a caller on the line, but I guess got a little bit impatient. Just stay patient when you get on the line, ladies and gentlemen. I hear you. I got you there. As long as you can hear us, I'm gonna get to you. Promise.
I think it's not the Knicks' fault at all about this happening, but I think if Mitchell Robinson would have been healthy, I think there was a good chance that they could have moved Hartenstein also at the deadline because of his $8 to $10 million contract. That's also something that they could have done, but they, unfortunately that happened. Yeah.
Let me get to a caller. Caller, you're
I
live.
believe that.
Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
What's up? I'm Jay. I'm from the Bronx.
What's going on, Jay? How you feeling, man?
Okay.
Man, I'm feeling good. How you guys feeling?
Good. Feeling good.
All right, man. So I do want to say, man, can we all agree that we definitely gave Josh Hart way too much money?
Tony? What about you, Tony? No, everybody know how I feel. What about you?
Like, I loved him. He came in. He was a spark. But I think we got a little too excited. Like, he was never $100 million man ever in his life. So I feel like we got way too excited, threw him way too much money, and that's really why we couldn't really bring Quickly back in. Even when I seen Dante DiVincenzo get $50 million, I was like, yeah, Josh Hart is right at about the same amount.
Yeah, I
know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, he ain't really better than Dante DiVincenzo, so I was like, he right about that same amount. I don't know, man. Like, I just wish for the best, Man, as a young Knicks fan, I just be heartbroken because it just seemed like we fall into the same kind of patterns. Mm-hmm. And then, man, it also hurt to see that guy over there, Halliburton. You know what I mean? He really supposed to be our point guard. And I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? 20 assists. I'd rather those 20 assists than the kind of points Brunson put up, because that's what a point guard is supposed to do. And Halliburton, he hit big shots when you forget all about him because he done dished out 17 assists. Now he hitting big threes and he getting fast break layups and ones. And it's like, that's
let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this: would he have done this under Tom Thibodeau?
Oh man, listen, you're right about that. What's up, you're right about that though, and that's my biggest thing. As Tom Thibodeau is decent. No, but I feel like Tom Thibodeau is always going to keep you in the middle of the pack type of coach. You're going to always be good with him as a coach, but you're never going to be great with him as a coach. And my biggest issue with him is he's not a bad coach, because you always hear him out there barking directions, and you know what I'm saying? He coaches.
He's coaching.
But my thing is,
always coaching.
Yeah, he goes out there and coaches. You hear him barking all game. You hear him, Josh, go. And you hear him, you know what I'm saying, barking instructions, but he don't instill confidence in the young guys. And that's the thing I don't like. I know, Mark Jackson will never be coach. You know what I'm saying? We know that. But the one thing why I wanted him to be coach is because I feel like he would instill a lot of confidence in guys like RJ and Quickly and even Randall. I think they would have went to a whole nother level under a coach like that instills confidence. You remember Mark Jackson was just on the show explaining how he got this one coach that was telling him he was the best point guard in the NBA. And he was like, even though he knew it wasn't true and the coach knew it wasn't true, it made him feel good, though. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like Tibbs is not that kind of guy. He don't bring that type of positivity to where guys really want to run through a brick wall for him.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. You might be right. You know what I mean?
That's my biggest thing with him. It's funny. Off my fault for because I'm not gonna keep you guys too long. But I was just saying, like, your man Thibodeau is like Frank Sinatra. As long as he does it his way, he cool with he's Frank Sinatra coaching. He just like, I did it my way. Like, even I'm really paying attention. Like, Leon Rose is not the GM. Tibbs is the GM. I guess Leon Rose is just there to say, Tibbs, who you want? I'll get you the guys that you want. You want me to re-sign him? I'm going to re-sign him. You want me to go get OG? I'm going to go get OG. But it's like Leon Rose ain't the GM. Tibbs is the GM.
But do you think that's not the way it should be, though?
Nah, not to that level. Because
you don't think that the GM should get the players that the coach want? I mean, you picked the coach. You chose the coach. So, because this is just the way that I envision it, right? You're the GM. president,
Right.
whatever, whatever you are. Say, oh, okay, I'm going to bring in this coach because this coach has this philosophy, this style, this, that. Now, coach, we had an interview. We came to an agreement on how you're going to, the style of basketball, this, that, and the third, the philosophy, the type of culture we want to establish. Now, I'm going to give you the tools. What tools do you need to get your job done? And then I'm going to go try to get those tools at the best prices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's how I envision the GM should be.
I understand that, but at the same time, like, we already seen how Tibbs was when he was the GM and coach, when he was in Minnesota or other places. It's like, yeah, I do understand that, but at times, like, all right, Tibbs, we gave you what you asked for. We had to let certain guys go because, you're not filling them. At what point do it come in like, okay, now we're going to bring certain players in, and Tibbs, we believe in these guys, make it work. Because at this point, it's like Tibbs got too much power. What's the point of Leon being a GM?
I feel like
Tibbs might as well be the GM too.
I feel like at that point is when you get a different coach then. Because I feel like you give the coach the tools that they need to do the job.
Yeah.
And if they can't do the job, and if they don't do the job, then you're like, okay, let's bring in someone else. I feel like you give the coach the tools that they need to do their job.
Because now when we look at it, it's a little confusing because like, all right, we done did that for Tibbs, but now I don't even see a direction we could go into for a new coach, really. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you. Like, all right, now it's approaching that. Like, between, I say, the next year or two, if Tibbs don't make it work, he got to go. But I don't see a clear direction on where we could go in that direction either. I kind of feel like the Knicks are kind of winging it a little bit.
I mean, I don't know if they. Josh thinks that they chose a direction. So now, if they chose that direction, you go full-fledged in that direction. So like they chose a direction. We're not building around young guys. We're going out. We're trying to get people that's going to come in and win. Boom, boom, boom. So I think they're gonna, they go in that direction. And so I would say, they probably do have an idea, but they have an idea. All right, we're going in this direction. And so now let's see who's out there on the board that we can pull in. You know what I mean? So I guess we got to see what's next.
And that doesn't mean they keep Tibbs as well. I think as long as the Knicks, and we're going to assume for the sake of argument that Jalen Brunson is going to be all-star. Randall's already all-NBA, so he's going to get a max contract. As long as the Knicks have those guys, they can get it. They can go out and find a coach. It don't have to be Tibbs. They can go find somebody else. That's
and then you start tweaking, and then you start tweaking according to what that coach says they need. They say, you know what, I can't do it with Randall, so I need to go get Boom. Or I need you to go get a guy like this or a guy like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I definitely think even, man, bringing in OG too. Like, I love Spider, the idea that it came with getting Donovan Mitchell when we could have got him at the trade deadline. But now picking up OG, I feel like if we going in that direction, Murray is the guy now. At the time, I loved the idea of Spider, but now it looked like Spider is such a tweener. Like, everybody's starting to notice that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where he going at this point. But
he's still doing his thing, though. You got to give it to him.
Yeah.
He's still doing his thing out there. Shoot.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, but it's a team game. And him doing his thing, how far is that going to carry a team? That's really the question. I would love Spider, of course. But it's like, you can't put 70 up every game. It's just like I said, back to the Halliburton thing. Like, man, I'd rather that guy get 20 assists. That's more impressive to me than even 30 points. Because to be able to make guys that much better around you that's why they scoring 140 points a game.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So, scoring, it's fun to watch Donovan go out there and get 50 and 60 and 40, but it don't really, it takes away from the team. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Well, we'll see. I mean, listen, Donovan Mitchell is a guy that they want. Hands down.
I think it's a different direction maybe now though.
He's a guy that they want. One of the guys I would say that they covet. So, we'll see if they still try to make. I don't know where the path is to him right now, as far as salaries and stuff like that. And, I don't, we'd have to look and see how things work out with OG and see where that path is, if there's a path, if they still want him. But I still think somewhere, they got their eyes on what's happening with him in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it this way: we crazy if we think that Tibbs ever wanted Donovan Mitchell. If we really think about it now, at this point in time, once I seen this trade and I started hearing the DeJounte Murray rumors, I'm like, man, Tibbs never wanted Spider. If we saying that, the only thing that held the deal up was Grimes, Tibbs never wanted Spider. A small dude that don't play defense.
I don't know. I think Tibbs would take Donovan Mitchell in a heartbeat. I don't know. I think he'd take him. I actually think with the style of basketball that Tibbs plays, Donovan Mitchell is one of his guys. Look at Derrick Rose.
Yeah, but I think he'd take it at the point guard. But every other position, he don't usually roll with those type of dudes. Maybe at the point guard, he liked them scoring point guards, but after that, you got to be defensive, hard-nosed to really cover that scoring point guard.
Yeah, I hear you. See what's up. Hey, my man, I thank you for the call. Great conversation.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Happy New Year's.
Appreciate you,
Happy holidays. God bless.
No doubt. Happy New Year's to you.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Got a question. I want to see how you guys feel about this question here, or what your thoughts are. Jock, thank you for the Cash App. He said, what do you think OG's ceiling is? Is it all-star?
I think he could have an all-star ceiling. Mind you, at the time when the Knicks gave Randle his contract after he made the All-NBA season, they gave him the extension or whatever. But I think that the ceiling for him can be an all-star. Maybe I'll say all defense, all NBA defense. I won't say all-star because he's not going to put the amount of points on the board to do that. He doesn't have a pull-up game. So I would say all NBA defense.
Okay. All right. Tony, what do you think? He's been that, hasn't he?
Yeah,
all
second team last year.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
I think he can make an all-star. I don't think he'll be perennial. You know what I mean? Like if he's on if we could, and I'm not saying this year or whatever, but if we could get to, a third seed and he ups his scoring in the 20 range, I don't see why not. You know what I mean? Especially if he's giving what he gives defensively.
Right. Yeah, I think, first of all, I think it's entirely possible that he can up his scoring to, 18 to 20 points per game. Just based on just based on not who he's taking over
increased usage,
but he's increased usage. He's jumping into a role that had a certain amount of usage, and I see him getting that usage. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not right from the beginning because he's got to, ingratiate himself into the team and all of that kind of stuff. But I see him getting that usage. So I think there's the possibility, because he shoots better percentages, that he could increase his scoring. It could jump up, 18 to 20 points per game. I definitely see that. And so if he's one of the top 3 scorers on the team, and the Knicks end up being one of these days 1, 2, 3, yeah, I see him making an all-star team. I think he could make an all-star team. That's all-star caliber. He could be all-star caliber.
Yeah, I just want to add, I think those types of players that are all-stars, they have ability to have the ball in their hands and go make something happen for the most part when you think about all-stars, all-NBA people. On that note, though, Sam, I did mention in the pregame that Brunson was going up against Halliburton, and then, it's going to be him trying to compete for that all-star spot. I think there's no doubt in my mind that Tyrese Halliburton is going to be an all-star, right? And then I think there was 2 other guard spots, or I don't know how many other guard spots. The East is very tough when it comes to that other guard spot. You got Tyrese Maxey, who's putting up the same numbers as Brunson, Trae Young, who they're below us or whatever. And I think I'm missing one. There's one more that I'm missing. Damian Lillard, right? So it's going to be tough, just like it was last year for Brunson to get into that All-Star conversation or to make the All-Star team. He's in the conversation.
I mean, you figure Tyrese and Damian might be the starters, and then you'll probably have 2 bench guys.
That can work too.
Right.
Yeah, they do it by guards. And
Yeah, then you have 2 bench guys. So, when you look at the other bench guys, depending on where the Knicks are, I think he'd have a good chance. Tyrese Maxey could very well be one of the other guys. Drew Holiday's name is going to be there. Brunson's name is going to be there. Who was the other guy you mentioned? Oh, Trae Young.
No, I said Trae Young. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll be there, but Atlanta's not. They're not doing very well. So that could, as far as coaches voting, that could hurt them a little bit. So we'll see. They need to expand the All-Star game. Instead of, what do they have, 12 players? Is it?
I thought it was 15. I thought it was 15.
Is it 15?
Yeah. I thought it was 15.
Because they.
Yeah, I thought it was 14, and I thought it was 14 or 15.
Because you always hear people say, talk about expanding it so that it matches the number of roster spots that's on the team.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you're right.
Right.
Maybe you're right.
No, it's 12.
12.
It's 12 and 12.
12 and 12, right. Yeah. So, you can have 15 rosters on the team. So that's what they always talk about. Why don't they expand it to 15? Because you have 15 roster spots. Why don't they expand it to 15? But it is what it is. Especially with so many players in the league now. You know what I mean? But I guess it probably helps, when guys get snubbed, it helps because it creates more stuff to talk about. This guy, that guy got snubbed. Caller, you live. Name me where you're from, please.
Yes, hello. This is George from the Bronx.
George, what's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. This is the first time you calling this season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I wasn't going to call, but the previous caller who was on spoke kind of harshly of Tom Thibodeau. And, I don't think that is fair. See, because 3 years ago, Tom Thibodeau took a team of bums to playoffs. They were bums. It's Elfrid Payton, Alec Burke, Stonehands. You know what I'm saying? These guys are what's this, Mitchell Robinson. He got them to play.
My bad.
Okay. People feel that, he don't allow players to grow, but he took Quickly, who was a 25th pick, and he went from shoot if I felt like it to last year, he was the runner-up for the six-man award. This is all under Thibodeau. This is under Thibodeau. He don't get credit for that.
I feel you.
So
I feel you.
It's like the harshness that they use when they talk about him is just not fair. Okay. Yes, it was time for RJ to go because he needs to be somewhere else to flourish. There's too much pressure in playing here in New York, and he couldn't handle it. I'm sorry to say. I hated to see Quick go, but we are guard deep. He can't start with Brunson. He could not start with Brunson. Too small.
Right.
You see? Spider. Everybody wants Spider. Everybody think we should get Spider. What other benefit will we get from having Spider besides he can score points? And then will he be able to score those points with Brunson and Julius Randle on the team, who can also score points?
Yes.
He automatically becomes your number one option, in my opinion.
100%. 100%.
All right, but then we lose defensively.
Because
he's not guarding nobody. And we're not outscoring nobody if we can't play defense. That's what's going on now. We scored 126 points tonight, but we gave up 140. We need more defense. You see? So we have to continue to build our defense. We have scorers. We can score points. But we have to get lockdown players who can lock down somebody like a person who eats too much cheesecake. We got to get these type of players because we're not going to beat Boston if we had Spider.
With OG, I think you got a damn good shot.
I mean, it's always going to, it's going to depend on other things that you put around it. So,
Yeah.
We are not going to beat the Bucks 4 out of 7 with Spider.
And OG?
It's not going to happen. And then he gets hurt. He misses games. The direction that we're going, I like it. If they can get Murray, I think that would be a good pickup for us. And then we'll see what we have. And then, you know what I'm saying, come over the summer, whatever people we're going to get rid of, do that. I'm not a Spider fan. Yeah, he could score. It looks good, but I'm not a big fan of Spider. What is Cleveland doing? Where are they at? Didn't we knock them off last year?
Yeah. We did. But, there's other people on the team. I mean, it's always going to be who do you put around a guy like Spider, right? Who else do you have around them? Do you have other all NBA guys around them? You know what I'm saying? So, if he came to the Knicks, we're not going to be where Cleveland is right now.
Exactly.
Right.
And where is Cleveland?
I'm saying we're not going to be where Cleveland is right now. We'll be better than that.
Okay.
Way better.
So if we got Spider, we would be better than the Bucks? Or, no, the 76ers?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think we'll have a better chance. I think we'll have a better chance than we do now. So what's the solution?
No. That's not what I'm asking, Josh. That's not what I'm asking. Will we look better on paper? Would we match up better with the 76ers than we do without him?
Yes.
That's what
No question about it.
Okay.
No question about it. Because my gripe with the Knicks right now was size, right? So it's two things: size and ball handling. I didn't want to give up quickly, but they had to make that move. They felt that they had to do it. They weren't going to sign him or whatever. Okay, boom. We got OG Anunoby to come in and play the 3, add size, being able to defend. I think that was one of the Knicks' biggest problems, and that's why they didn't match up well against Boston, Milwaukee, and we haven't even played Philly yet, right? But if you go out and you get a guy like Donovan Mitchell or Murray, somebody that can handle the basketball, score, and then give you 20, 25 points with Brunson and Randall, that's a contending team in my opinion. That's a contending team right there.
But those 3 guys are not stopping nobody. They would have to guard Tatum, Brown, and Porzingis. Who's going to get more points?
I think that team can stop people. I think that team can stop people. You got OG Anunoby, right, playing there, and then Knicks fully healthy with Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson's going to play the center, right? So you got rim protection there, and then you got the ability to shoot out the gym. You'll contend. You'll contend with that team, in my opinion.
Yes, they will contend, but will they win? Boston is primed to win it all.
They still got to do it.
They still got to do it.
Right. They from the last championship caliber team that they had, they got better. They have gotten better. I hate to say it, I'm not a Celtics fan, but they have gotten better.
No,
I just think this notion that we can't beat anybody if we go out and make these moves, it keeps the Knicks and the team in this continuous cycle. Oh, we're not going to beat anybody. We shouldn't do it. The point is to contend.
No, Josh.
Ultimately, real quick. Ultimately, you want to win. Real quick. Ultimately, you want to win, but you have to put yourself in contention because anything can happen in a 7-game series. You put yourself in contention every year, perennially. That's what you got to do. That's what you have to do. So this whole thing about they shouldn't do it because they're not going to beat them, I just don't agree with that logic, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. That is not the direction that I'm heading in. And if I gave you that was an impression, I'm sorry that I did. Tom Thibodeau, being that he's a defensive coach, when he builds his teams, I believe, I don't know because I've never had a conversation with the man, he's thinking of a 4 out of 7 series. Okay, this is his mindset. He wants a defensive team who can score some points. He's not points first because it has been proven throughout the history of the game. There's a lot of teams that were high caliber who never got it done. Okay, so we can have these scores, but that just run and gun back and forth. That don't happen during the playoffs.
I agree.
It's a half-court game during the playoffs.
Which is why I felt the Knicks were too small to play that way. I felt they were too small to play that way because they're not going to match up by adding some size. And OG and Anunoby, I think they'll match up way better with those teams by adding size. That's why they did that.
Yes. I'm listen, I like the fact that they went and got him. Now I hope that they can go get Murray. Because I would prefer Murray over Spider because Murray is more than one dimension. He's not just a scorer. He's a defender also. With him and Mitch and Anunoby, that would make us really formidable with that starting 5. You see, the mistakes that Jalen Brunson make and the sometimes defense that Julius Randle play would be hidden because we would have 3 really good defenders in that starting lineup. That's all I'm saying. That's all I want to say. Okay? But listen, man, we all Knicks fans, and we only want the best for the team. So
that's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm going to let you guys go.
Appreciate it. Hey, what's your name again?
George from the Bronx, man.
George from the Bronx.
Yeah, George from the Bronx.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, George.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Fellas.
Have a good one.
Salute.
Yeah. There's a lot of opinions. It's going to be opinions for days about this trade. I mean, this is the biggest trade the Knicks have made since
KP,
right? Since they traded KP.
It's probably a bigger trade than KP.
But this is the biggest trade they've made since then.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can't think of anything else.
Trading away their own draft picks, as far as trading away the people that they drafted, yeah.
I mean, but even in players that they're bringing back. Who's the most coveted guy that they've brought back in the trade since? Josh Hart, right? Definitely the biggest trade in Leon Rose's tenure.
Yeah, it's a bigger trade than Hart. I mean, you may argue Derrick Rose just because of the name. You know what I mean? But
yeah, he said sense, Tony. That's why I said that. It's like, yeah.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, but this is.
He also said biggest.
But it is the biggest. I mean, this is the biggest move that the Knicks have made in, as far as trades in a long time. For the past few years, every trade deadline, what the Knicks gonna do? Oh, we think they're gonna make a splash. This, crickets, nothing. I don't want to say nothing. The Josh Hart, Derrick Rose. Those were trades, but what did we give up? Cam Reddish, 2nd round picks for Derrick Rose. I mean, this time you gave up, a guy that you drafted 3rd. You know what I mean? So it's a big one for the Knicks, and we'll see. There's gonna be a lot of opinions for the next couple of days. A lot of opinions until he actually plays, and then there'll be people who who have opinions about that. A lot of opinions about that too. I'm anxious to see how it goes and what happens. Hate that the Knicks lost tonight. Hate that they got to play Minnesota on Monday. Because right now the Knicks are what? 8th in the Eastern Conference?
I haven't looked in 3 days, son.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Tony, the Knicks are 8th, 17-15. We just fell a half game behind Indiana. We're a full game behind Cleveland for that 6th spot. But we'll get back there. We're just a couple of games behind Orlando, Cleveland, for the 5th and 6th spot. So, it's not. No, I'm sorry. Miami's in the 5th spot now. And we're a game and a half behind Miami. We're 2 games behind Orlando for the 4th spot. So we'll see.
Ebbs and flows
Who
of the
has
regular
it?
season. I'm not
Yep,
concerned.
we'll see. We'll see. Then in
Not concerned at all.
the second half after this new year, you got more home games and away games. You don't have as many back-to-backs. The schedule's going to get a little bit lighter too. You know what I mean? So, we'll see where we've had a tough schedule up until now, and not even just talk about teams that we play, but with teams that we play, but also, the travel schedule and all of that. They were talking about it on the telecast, the travel schedule and back-to-backs has been that kind of a tough schedule. So it'll lighten up in the second half. It all has to even out. All has to even out. All right. It's 12:27. We've been on for 2.5 hours. I didn't know. I don't even think we did a post-game show for real. We just dug into the trade even more. You know what I mean? We just dug into the trade even more. But it's been a great show. It's been a great show. You know what I mean? I hate losing IQ, but I am excited for what could be, and to see how this entire thing fleshes out. You know what I mean? And if the Knicks are gonna make some other moves, I'm excited for it. I will say that. Skeptical, but I'm excited. You know what I mean? Either way, I still got the Knicks. The Knicks, I feel, are going to be in the playoffs. I don't feel like we lost so much that we wouldn't be in the playoffs, but, I'm skeptical, and I want to see it succeed. So, we'll see what happens. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get up out of here. Tony, you was about to say something?
Nah, just shout out to the chat, man. I gotta sleep on this one. Hopefully, I feel better in the morning.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we lost 2 games today.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm happy for OG to be a Knick. I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm still just skeptical on how much better we got, but time will tell, and we'll see. I hope we got better, and I hope we can see the vision as they're playing. That's even bigger for me than them getting better. But I do expect for us to get better if this is what it's supposed to be. I expect us to get better, but I want to be able to see the vision on the court. I want to be able to see it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get up out of here, man. I'm going to get up out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a happy and safe new year. If I don't see you, have a happy and safe new year. There's a lot of shows that can come out of this because there's a lot of questions to be had. Because I still have a whole lot more. Whole lot more. But Josh, any last thing you want to say before we go?
Yeah, I was right.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
Now, all I'll say is I'm glad the Knicks made this move. Hopefully, and I pray that it leads to them doing something else to get that other ball handler in here. If not, if we can't use Fournier's contract, I think that's going to be a big failure. Hopefully, what y'all were telling me about Dante DiVincenzo being that ball handler, this is his time to show it, right? So, when Quickly was out before a couple games during the season or Brunson was out, we wanted to see DiVincenzo be that ball handler. So hopefully that's him in lieu of us not making that move. So hopefully the Knicks do make it and, we can get to that contending level. Next season, we'll have all these guys on the contract. Nobody's making max money. So I think that now is the time to strike if we're going to do it.
Yeah, no doubt. Jay Williams, that's not even fair. Said, well, we're 0-1 so far since the trade. Ain't even fair. He ain't touched the floor yet. Can we let him touch the floor?
Saw the Raptors, and they lost to Detroit.
Right, exactly. Can we let them
Detroit won?
Detroit won. Yeah, Detroit won tonight.
Oh, nice.
Detroit won tonight. They won. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Tony, any last words?
Nah, man. Go Knicks. Knicks fan first.
Yeah. We're going to get up out of here, folks. Please make sure that you have a safe and happy new year. All right? Be safe out there. Big shout out to Deuce for getting his contract. I'm glad he got some money. I know that must feel good. Shout out to OG for making his way to the New York Knicks. Precious and Malachi, we're looking forward to having you here. You know, RJ and IQ, we're going to miss you guys, but do your thing up there and up top in the north. Tony, you was right. You said Toronto would be a good look for them to bring in RJ. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he's there now. Let's see if he can do something.
So Tony was right, but I wasn't right?
But you missed the entire conversation, or you don't even know the context. See that? You don't even know the context. He was just talking about them building with a guy that's from Canada.
So he was right.
But we weren't even talking about, he wasn't even talking about the production-wise. He was just talking about, because he's from Canada, hometown boy.
And the fact that they don't tend to keep guys or sign guys. I figure if they start building around some hometown guys, they may want to stay there and build something.
You're wrong so often, so it doesn't matter. Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. We appreciate your time. Make sure you support the channel on the way out. You can either hit the like button, which don't cost you nothing, or you can support through Cash App, $nothing-but-Knicks, or PayPal at paypal.me/nothing-but-Knicks. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the channel's been demonetized, so we appreciate any support that you can give. We're out of here. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.